Well, we have a good evening. You are live on OK 101.7 FM. You're all live also across your partner radio stations here. So we are live as we speak from Ship House, Abeka Junction, all the way to Kukrentumi. You're live on Migachu FM. You're live on NASPA Radio in London. You're live on Adamfupa Media in France and Belgium. You're live also on King's Jersey Radio in New Jersey. And you're live also all the way High Life DMV area High Life Radio. So you're live. Good evening, Akwaba. Congratulations on Emma NDC Amenyokono on the launch of their manifesto. I mean, one of the pivots of political and as a multi-party democracy system now. Yeah, force President Rawlings returning Ghana to 1992 constitution. Party bia power or launching a manifesto to show that the objective say young Ghana for voters and the onus is on us. Said the party bia can ubetie na enkoye se ofri mikrom ofri ha or can anwate or tebrofo or ye say yan hwesa na yamani biom issue based. This election 2024 a historical elections. Historical in terms of the fact that this is I think that even Krano from 2012, 2016, basically, your elections have been improving. I don't care what anybody says, but maybe Obusamia from 2012, 2016, 2020, basically, your elections look on him. And party are taking promises serious because 2012, 2016, MPP and no free SHS buy 1B1 buy. Ghana have been number one critic in pushing every government, especially Nanado, to ensure that promises will say yo. Basically, Nanado to mean deliver, but at least we can trust that your money pressure, papa. I do pray mine. On our free power, don't say Ghana for you to need to we are really giving pressure. And the same pressure not Ghana for us. The biggest opposition party, the market time, Ghana for NDC. And then look at the things NDC is bringing out of manifesto launch. Some of them, if you ask me, a double standard, NDC say first year students are university level 100 for free tuition. For me, this is a build up on another free SHS. Before I free SHS and NDC must have promised way. From 2012 to 2016, nurses allowance has become an issue. Look, Ghana for I was see a boy who abaso. We have forced our politicians to think, and they are to think. Fernando big agenda you come the GTP project. Utumu say he's thinking. Former trade minister, former ambassador. What's not say, look, we must do something that is different from NDC and MPP. Even Abrantie Chada, you cry or then innovation by it. We have forced him to think. Or did it be different from the status quo crying by it? Almost they are all thinking differently. Let's say voters now see a boy of one basso. We have succeeded in forcing our politicians to just move beyond just a yezu, a yeza, a shiva dorado. And then we have forced them to give us ideas. They say the next level, no say, to a pressure me the man and the times 100. Niyama Obiaba will give the person pressure to ensure that a Jumana Yadesha and Sano obey. We have a very solid team. And the entire I'm a pegana for more brochire and say travel and see. In fact, the leaders say Ghana. And that is why a lot of times, Yana disappointed because they are well traveled, well read. They know what's going on in other countries. In the area Dubai for UAE to meet any more economy in around. They know what happened in Japan. And Japan born and America for economy. America stock exchange is shaking. It's shaking. And the media, their politicians and this in the MPP this week, and I wait to money way. We are bam and hand you over mass and they are look Ghana, they are close to West Africa. You people should not even be bragging. Moment in security. There has been coup all around us. We should be thanking God. And yet, develop unim. I am a for crack on a coup in Sea Ghana. No? Because I am a for unim 3 billion of the Amano. Okay, so I'm not a coup Messi. They want to protect us. Say your man bought captain's ban. Until let's look at the issues. And I love what NDC has done. Remember free essay. But you see, there are questions I was Ghana for in a share party supporters leaders no Omoya campaign, Baumia Mahama, check that Alan Chairman to show we must begin to start questioning them. Me and your slogan we must begin to start questioning them. Because the NDC are all complaining about free SHS. Free SHS has impacted negatively on Ghana economy to the extent that over the last 8 years, NDC and MPP pressure saying a review of free SHS because a boy a capital. Then the same NDC almost say a boy a capital. Almost about free first year level 100 into your first Ghana economy. That is a relevant question we must ask. Ya corruption ya benye skana na Article 71 for one you go to muska. These are all questions, sir. Ghana for Mr. Mamo Mayen taking our eyes off the ball. There is a price. You vote, your welfare. Sure, was it said your president before kind and issues so. You're a Janet Asari or your MPP for chairman, DC metro area ho. Any about Abneche. One also see a phantom movement. Let's do a critique of Omunina policies. Yeah, the NDC we will look at all that, find out what the best interest of Ghana at heart. Into my mama, good evening, ya kwaba penny for me.
Yo, if you also.
Great. Into my name, so I say free Mr. How to make a okay, Mr. Sarah, okay. In my minister say free is that Abraham. Yes, there NDC and now man launch your manifesto. Only Omunina contested because said you who you Alan Chairman in him say. Obama show down. Any ocean GTP project no buy or Wakanda that's what Obama Munina show down. What do you think about ideas or is it competitive to Momo enough?
Yo, if you me that say, it's here for you that Munina must say, one multi yena, Simonia Madajana multi. Governance, the policies, any idea running. Nti MPP for a launch your the NDC for a launch your mode and movement for change M4C for so yes so ya launch your mode. Now the omoka ye no can be say almost on Bema level 100 for free SHS. Well. Enye ade anka enye. Now the question I'm facing with Busani say, idea right now no Ghana ye betimi aye. Yesika asem ebetimi aye se akwakoye se unhu oba no watompa unya hu oba no watompa no wa me economy ni nye efia economy ni nye se sia nipa hia de omubedi nipa hia adwuma aye eno na de uncertainty no ene sa security threat na eba no ede na mo ahokyere ba nipa so a enya level 100 so let's look at the number omubeko university our promise omo saa no na hwe number omutifie omunya adwuma nyeye ekomudi omo omo bokro no eye niema emfata ye hwe number no enti let's look at Ghana as right now idea ne hia nipa ne hwe wasitinem na to aba no wasitinem no say level 100 no ebeboa wa no wato aba na fa ho nipa dodro na e Ghana no enya level 100 asemo. You see sometimes the politicians they don't try to solve issues, they throw things in the air. Nipa ti hono electricity nye stable nipa ti ho ye nya aduane ndi omo wie school di dada ti fie nya adwuma nya ye ekom di nipa hospital. These things are the basic needs of people. Ensure yenye ho ya adwin say be solve no level 100 asem.
I think we share NDC manifesto no ma catch ho nyina jobs on be creating the first year. In fact, on ma jobs so come be creating the first 100 days. Any day. So they address all those sectors.
For me, there I would like to go with what they have said in terms of jobs, because me that is crucial to me. Se nipa eni adwuma ye na ne ho kire na wa wuti Ghana wo fu se wasi wo fie papa wutim no otam se kan ne dade a wo so na ode ba
Hello Tata.
Obia emma nipa nye enyema ensene mfata. One level 100 no is not a bad idea. But see, I know it's level 100 do we need? ISMPP for the omoje detail. Enu na enu ehia sese ana. That is the issue. Enu na ehia. Nipa no sese I want to talk about right now. Ade nipa beye na omode ahoto bebo mabrabo mo omhu behia omo. Enu na ehia. Because nipa no nya bibi ndiye. No nya baby fa ne tinto ya. Oni ahoto mu. So obeye niema bi a eye so wonya aduane bi no wo bibi ye anopa o sorry na ne tro no befa no okọ adwuma no wonya kakra hye ni botuma se bi o sister onya a time kura ofra adwuma ba wa bre wo beda onya time no wakose wo kwa akọba obi epo okwa akọdi ewu oye nnanti asem oye gigi because ade achi a onim se wo sorry na okọ adwuma a bosome ne so a obenya kakra to ne botum no de ahwe ne yere ne ma. Practical. Let's deal with the practical issues of our life and let's solve that first. I said, Debbie, ye jumpy, and ye men whom he no, ye shall what ye against him who kakrano. And yes, say, some who per se, dear empha, and for super bia many pano more crewman, and now ye just say, ye no ye show home. Mrs. Samuel Comicroma, level 100 as a ma walking, and ranting and mambo almost as someone as you. Or see, I buy maybe a jumanonia binye. Na petition na omori no mo jaanum enu an omo hwehwe eti what are we doing for these people na wo hwe your numbers ni so e wo moto aba na sankofo ni so na doso ohun ya center ye policies ni nyina wo big cities no Accra and Kumasi Accra ni Kumasi nko anye oman no yenyu enu mo
so the opposite parties ni nyina to focus on. She said the island here be job creation number one before anything else. That should be the priority.
Job creation number one. How do we create job? There's two things personally I like. Economy, no, let's tackle that because majority of our money, no, that comes from inbuilt funds. Na no, your friend is businesses, trading. Let's focus on that. What are we going to do? I better expand the amount of what etimi abuy into. Say ni say be more economy no akosoro agriculture nipa ye hia aduane menu mi eni ndidi e betena ha say ye nya ahode kwa nkasa eti these two key things no for me since owura chematin afa say eye ni key thing no eno awene for me kra because he's addressing issues ha oman no yeti Ghana je ne kra tomatoes ye kra landa odi ebro so wo huru ebro hu now to go for ma baby abeto agu bi etimi fifi no and then ye kra je ne tomatoes. What are we doing? Because yes you ne enema until me there no for me no I am more interested in how we build our economy. Okay. And what
first you mama you bet expanding no na ya call all the sectors but Mr. Fari mami musa wo mo main rivals the NDC for no mako manage mako launch your manifesto. Are you threatening because and the NDC show as a show of force. They showed force, they showed capabilities there no omo wini ewie slightly no that's what they see them get maybe now one you almost say you wini wie o into monto mo answer but they were showing that we are ready for government.
If you are a conversation, chia wouldn't know a chief winning, and so whom I wish a copy brief Ghana and Yamonone. Do I meet you a chief winning? Namichaya sister Abnechi, your Fasiba Janaco Shapa Fantochi, when they become was him later. Michao pass and Yapa Fantof winning, and the winner Muka doing Hona, when numbers are fee, say just at the Urbano. Into who cry if you are some, you don't want to win which tobacco. It means Yamina. Stefia, Ocasan Meniaji. Oh, did I tell it Meniaji? And NDC, almost if fresh as almost come fine yet. O Mabit Dominum said, Muko first year, every Muska. O Mamma Gana for you there who almost buying. But I say, someone that can say, on mine, yeah, the policies in a boom mine and a vision. So, another way in your vision, to me, a fresh I mean, no can say, from time I implement it to end, I'm almost about 1 million students on my quad. I'm not going to come to fear. But I say, I might enjoy free teachers and then Mama be now say mo first year meaning say mo guarantee free teachers after that me be so masne. It's na wanya mo ba na mo tifie no. It tells you about MPP. Adwene your mind any futuristic thinking na aboa o mind be sine. Oh nana me start. Me ba ho. It tells you say omo say ya the papa Ghanaians. So I didn't want to let me address it. Say yeah no mo to aso no. Obi a o vision aja say any obi a wo hwe be vision nim no. Fa na vision be man so on to aso. The only again na the moment I told no wa be na check the say oh we might na be ba to aso. Then to give it to who had the vision. But then God will discuss that later. I mean discuss here Ibia. Sister Abnaka, and I want to take it from there about job creation. One say Abibia has to create jobs. But the Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, any MPP, a chance way between you and other political parties is what I call vision. Anytime you have vision. So if you're talking about job creation now, you're not only focused on what is going to happen today, but already said the next 10 years, the next 20 years, say na Ghana be mistake I say as a mind, we are always focused on today. You may didn't I don't really care about it. And why am I this? Talking about Dr. Mahmoud Baumia policies or the bar. There are policies that solve problems of today and the generational problems. That's my example. Per se implementing a friend is saying there's a mobile money interoperability with so that people can pay using this on their phones, using their mobile money wallets. And I expand the internet base to almost about 89% now in Ghana. And for statistics, you see this friend is had a friend who ban left near right. So Ghana a lot of people are doing it, and it's increasing by the day. This is how are they paying? You need mobile money interoperability. That's about me implement. How are you going to pay?
No, me can say Momo there. It was there before.
Momo is different from Momo. They say Momo there. You go kwa yiska. But me can say transfer money from your wallet, from your e-wallet to your account. Go for Uber. Where na uchia? We didn't have any means. What I said. Now the means has been created.
Digitally, no.
Oh, Ghana, this is all called to me card, yo. Exactly. So you have to have physical money. But now you don't need that. That's the point I'm trying to make. What I say, it's so easy, say, and it creates jobs on daily basis. What I say, Mama, another example. So now see out here, America. Vice President Kamala, right? I also be Mampenia. Or the Baumia zip line, example about how it has expanded jobs in the medical field. What I say? Or the example,
Baumia zip line of them.
As an example to show Senia, Africa, we are progressing. This is the leader that we need. What I say? When the leadership, and your leader, you need a leader has progressive mindset. What I say? Actually, Google said Google. I'm my doctor. Google. Kamala, what do you call it? Dr. Baumia video, what do you call it? Zip line. Don't know. But let me get on. So, when you're going to address the challenge of the country today, think about policies that is going to help you in the present and also in the long term. One of the things that Dr. Baumia, says next year, also be file taxes. That actually going to give a tax amnesty to businesses, and every city is going to file taxes. Yes. It's part of that. It's going to be a tax amnesty from next year. I'm just saying he's going to implement it. What he has here. And why is this important? So we'll start this off. We'll file taxes, right? Let's say taxes. If you make it, you don't pay back. But what that does is it increases the revenue bracket for the government. So I know what I say. A friend is saying income tax and go for GI and go for a create direct income tax. Obi income tax be indirect. But in terms of income tax, more big map, and that's the only way the government gets revenue. In Tianuntino, Amabudo, what the car Ghana, port duties, kakaka. He's paying so much. Import this kakaka. What about the marketplace? You are paying so much. But when the tax bracket is expanded, that's kakra. There's a larger pool of people paying tax into the government economy. If you never have import duties, need electricity, all those things, they are going to come down. This is a visionary solution. When a solution is solving an problem, we have solution is solve the problem now and the next 10 to 20 years.
NDC manifesto solving because NDC has spoken about the big push. It's in their vision.
So manifesto ever built on media. I don't even have to read yours. I can because mine is the blueprint. My first year. Yeah, I have the blueprint. I don't have to read their manifesto. NDC, I can look at their track record. You see, and that's another thing that Ghanaians need to look at. They say, Omaswa MPP 8 years, Omaswa NDC 8 years. So they can compare and contrast where we did well, where we didn't do well. Where they did well, where they didn't do well. Let me give example. Over roadways, 8 years, they did about 4,000 roadway added to the sector. Yeah, as I speak to you right now, we've done 11,000 roadway added to the sector. What is it? Over hospitals, I'm building 8 hospitals.
More than NDC.
It's not about can you take us in any country, but it's what you use the money for and how it's going to benefit the future generations.
But there are more difference. If you look at the magnitude of loans, taxes, increasing taxes are more money. One more time, we had one of the biggest cocoa prices, highest gold prices.
One, I said it's about the value of the projects. What I say, so me see 111 hospitals in every district. Most of them are about 50%. Now we are 8. This is more than 100% of your output. Okay, but look at say we can say I am there. We see your time cocoa prices was. The cocoa price was one of the best. It was also a ban saying because we stood up as a government, said the exploitation, any Cote d'Ivoire, said the exploitation now the whites are exploiting this NCBO, and you did a nice sea form. Just a man cocoa for this capa. We are going to try to import our cocoa and have our own market prices. We are not going to negotiate with you again. We have to put our foot down. Then they came to us. We didn't get what we wanted, but at least they give us an increase in price. But I said, this is the government that we are looking for. All the examples that you are giving, we are putting the country on the right track. And that is what Ghanaians want to see. Ghanaians in per se, who say, they are going to judge us based on what we did correct and what we did wrong. But most importantly, what is our vision for the future?
But I'm not raising issue about two key issues. The old thing, according to Sister Abna, in any emergency, because you are shooting yourself in the food in some time. You have one of the lowest cocoa productions. In fact, this year, your cocoa production to me across 500,000 metric tons. Opia, President Kufuor 1 million metric tons. 2017, 2018, I'm more there for 1.5 metric tons. And no. From there, what they have a form but Sister Abna issue agree. Two key issues. People are saying you have failed those two key issues. Agree. And NDC has addressed all these issues in their manifesto.
Answer Sister Fia. In terms of when you say failure, right? There has to be what they call it, a logical backing. Because if they want me, you cannot just make it in the air. Go and look at our agricultural sector. From 2012 up to date, there is growth in our agricultural sector. Even when we were underperforming, we still showed growth faster than the NDC time. So what is the basis for you to say that we have failed? Yes, we might have not reached the peak that we are looking for, but compared to NDC, we've not failed. We've actually outperformed them. So what are they calling failure? That is one. What is the standard of failure? It doesn't even make sense. But Mami addresses sister Abner, and I'll use an example. Yeah, I mean, use example. If anything, time, also I tell you said there are problems that you solve for today, there are problems that you solve for the future. One of the things, a friend is saying, we try to tackle the short-term and the long-term problems. And the reason I'm bringing this, I'm going to compare and contrast a Baumia vision versus an Allen vision. One of the visions, right, was to bring in car manufacturers to the country. Oh, this is your cars for Ghana. That's what I'm saying. One of Allen vision. That's what I'm saying. What I say, right? That vision solved the short-term problem of the country. If you starting manufacture cars, right? Oh, country be able to create immediate jobs. But is it a long-term vision? And then we know what is the long-term vision for cars? They are going EV, they are going solar, they are going hydro. So this vision, just like people, those stand up people who are riding horses, it's a very short-term vision. What do I say? Compare that vision to a blockchain vision, where Baumia is trying to bring blockchain to solve all the fraudulent issues in our economy, to create employment by having everything very open out there. What do I say? A forward-looking vision I give, like the zip line example that I gave you. What I say? If you look at these visions, if you compare these two visions, one is very short-term, what I say, and one is long-term. And Ghanaians want a vision that will solve the problem today and also in the future. Agrica, right? When you say they say, no, at Agrica, we have an online portal. So why would you start with some quadia, your mount, cocoa, any seedlings?
Ghana, you have one online portal.
You see, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because they say your mother is so easy for them. But they say, oh, they say your phone, you know. But I say you have a very easy way to, and because also someone say your crown, the key thing is transparency. What I say. What you show me office? Office when I go there. I need to kulu nebano. But me say, hey, you be transparent. Online. What I say, obi with you go access no worry. Now, person transparency. Now, go to the office. Go to the familiarity.
Okay.
We are trying to shift away from set governance into a more transparent blockchain governance, and that is the future of Ghana.
Okay. Since I'm not responding to Ms. Asari and the comparison, no. Whether NDC for manifesto no is even is competitive to Momo Vision now. The GTP vision, no. But responding to you, Asari answer.
Well, okay, be said, short-term vision, and I was citing very poor example about cars. Now, if you want to move from Kumasi to Accra, I like doing numbers because we're a numbers person. Nipa dodo send the bit mafa plane Accra. Nipa dodo send a number by the road. It is a catch me say bringing car manufacturing. Ghana, shop vision. Now you don't know what you're talking about. Then you use America, which their economy supersede every economy a year, when they say in the world. As an example, you use America. You see what NPP for they do is that and maybe a benefiting woman. We share electricity in our region, West Africa, Ghana, Africa, a by economy. Almost economy is said because America there's war. Pick and choose. That's what they do. They are clever that way. But Okachem say car vision. America for we use electronic carbon now. It started from this. We have not even reached that level now. First of all, your currency kuranye. Yeah, your currency. Until you Okachem say, "Min kofa car hydro ne be charge electricity na be charge car and yes stable." Oh, it means say they are not here to solve issues. Problem, they are not here. They just like to speak English and bring words and put it in the air and talk around it. Go. That's all they do. But the issue at hand, so be the car manufacturing. Say, according to Omano, car manufacturing brought about IDF it brought about 165,000 jobs. You go and tell those people in the factory working now. Say omanya sikechi omuma school fees etwaduane agupu so short term ombabo wasumpo. What do you mean by short term? Short term saying ade am imagine ho ye miska no. So we say a short term ade also a long term no. Right now people want to eat. That is what is important. So also person we tax bracket or expanding na what na over build on it to expand it. If the economy is not booming, if there are no jobs, how can you expand? Who expand on empty then? You have to have the basics. I'm saying, let's deal with the basics first. I'm not interested in as I'm can Chris, I shock him because say your friend is saying mobile money near year, but come on now. Too much and also seriously. Because time before say MPP bebasono. Na GPS here Ghana. On second term, if you are
that's true. Yeah.
Na ye juma. Mesi amibuso me numbers. MPP buy in terms of internet range.
Yeah.
How many did they add for 8 years compared to even NDC4? NDC4 did better than you people. It is what Bakachem say Muna Muya Uka say ya build free SHS so and also Babe say ya. Sasam na mo can NDC4 ne start here. And I tell you, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and yes, passport, electronic passport. As well, before someone de buy you. And yes, I know Mokano. And as I near Mano, Nipa do say, would they say a passport as a man? Nipa do say, no access even the money to do the passport. Let's tackle the issue here. Agriculture as a man became more increasing price. Now, more increasing price, the farmers and the actual farmers, our cocoa, we farm it manually. This is not commercial. And conphobia madam was a cocoa cratch for. Go to our farmers, take this cocoa, give them peanuts. Share area, the climate Ghana, ahata. They give them peanuts. The chunk of the money per their increase doesn't even reflect on the farmers. What are we talking about? Enti mima koto masasi na madro koko na mati bag be 15 oba osemema si dia henum wo si dia henum beto me honom no wo se aban crash your tin be bia one do koko ni bi or dia kwa world market akoto na empim yensa no ama me si dia henum o enu sunti na decline no aba no te se de o kan no because obi ba no so oba fa wasasi mame na metu koko be metu gold wo so a wose ya ne age etisi dia henum na ode man no de wo tu koko de obetu gold no wo ma ne mpemiensa wo productivity na ode ba
so I'm saying you more profitable chain koko
that is what they see but eno so sense ase no but at that time the reason why a nipa agi sika kese na all say asase say ahokyere wo pe bibie dio. You see, so that is why I'm saying let's focus on giving people what they need in terms of job. Ejiania yebedi. Say yensa asene say no. Eni enya pandemic Ghana. Liver, kidney. And no kran woman can want them say we are going to finish our hospitals with this. Then we make a statement to be say omo you can say almost 52 almost say agenda 111. No, hospital almost compared to 8, almost 52. Now let me tell you, if OBC 8 now or complete now it is running, it is serving the community. Wow, we see 52 now 52%. Which 52% means yaboso Windows here 52%. That's what it means. It is a ube catcher me say what me 52%. Na dano esi hokura boso pe ne yaboso. It's not effective. How is it benefiting the people? And see, I would choose the one who made the 8 and started running, serving the people. Then there was just sika boom, sika oma jiwo kuya sebi magana history da. Eso sesi a yemfa calculator. Per enyemo omudi egu kwam so maye no. Na yensha the cost near subtract difference in the him. It is a wusi Ghana for munsha abanu na munsha na muntu obi ba. Ya so NDC ashe, ya so MPP for ashe. Omu nyina ba they give you slogans and jargons. Said the be beto utirim ti said they start kind eyezu eyesa. What does that mean? How is that reflective on your bottom? Versus see where you be funds that they radu. How does that reflect? enti so ka che me se me pa adwuma ma obi aye na ne nsa akọ no eno ye short term a the ba omi e ka no ma obi adwuma about thinking of taxes on what? If your economy is down, where are you going to get the taxes? How are people going to work for you to get the taxes? Tax bracket, you know. Even with the little tax that we give them, show me what they have been able to do with the little taxes we give them. It's you show me.
But now your taxes now you're getting there. Realistically, a baby about or be a case. It's not enough. Until your budget
I'm correcting some of the mistakes that she's made because she's made a lot of mistakes. I need to correct her. And they're factual. So I'll give you the facts.
Let's get this on the ground. We all have our manifestos, quote unquote, or blueprints. Yet yamiadum yeti making kind. It will be better no kasa. It is not about the words like enya factual, a mistake. It is not mistake. I will not spend my time to be here and make mistake. I have my integrity at stake. You can disagree with me, but calling it a mistake, it's not a mistake.
When I say a mistake, another factual, I'm not impugning on your. I'm just saying it's not factual. Exactly. I'll give you the facts. Exactly.
Give me the facts.
Exactly.
Give me facts. Fact is evidence based.
Of course. That's what I'll give you numbers. Actually. I'll come in.
Economy no affect you directly. No, you go and tell them say it's not factual. You go and tell them that or no net economy and not your mind and no nim say nanko faka a free tech ebesi aduma na first na 1 cedi and na 3 cedis me one aduma increase and cost. If you tell me say enya factor or no beka say madam the madam ne can factor and ma tutu say gari olonka yesen tomato sadaka mobile na 800 and na 3,500 because the CD itself is not stable. It is a CD no want me unstable or no about me and say if the DND is now it will expose you. It has fundamentals them big time. And see, and America said, let's deal with the basic. Yen more honum, so who told more. No munya juma be ya. Course na ebam, so better. Because I tell you, say, obi anywhere a yen effect. So befa for no afraid, say be obikura usas or yin say no, say on manisika. And what are we doing? Our economy is in shambles. We don't want to attack these things. They are more cano. That be I tell MPP for. Say you want to act like you are quote unquote a Western country. You are not. We have 4th revolution. The first one is what? The second one, you are talking about the 4th revolution, which is your friends say internet. Let me put it this way: internet, whereby the first, which is agriculture, the second industry, you have not tackled that. How are you going to build on these things? And they have built almost system, no, so that the 4th will work.
But that now 1D1F concept now. Wow, boss Alan. Is that not an attempt to deal with the industrial revolution?
IDF, no, thank you for saying that. And no natural will say nipa or vision, no. Yet the ministry and a shenansa. Jabaumiaso or no ye friend say meet. Unishi say Baumiaso a mate dear, and an ala no a passenger. As so passenger ne kurano passenger no. Otimi implementi idea abeye beneficia amamo. And no chese so onya to me na enyema obia ensi ne kwa because no me announcing difo omusisi ne ekwan. Hey, baby obejina so obepe bibi dia kope loan abeboa ministry ne atoate no eye den na me na vision me na menyem manyem ade no it is a me de ba me na minim pens ni ne ma me ko mu it implementation eye den na Akufo-Addo administration they took the ID1F from my friend is saying because of their diabolical ways. They don't want the guy to flourish so that on my president they have the agenda.
But why is that the case? Because I don't know the MPP for the Japan have seen there. Almost achievement about
why
would they even undermine Alan?
Oh, they will, because this is we are dealing with somebody who is vindictive.
Why Baumia?
Akufuado. Baumia is also a mate. Now me mate now, when she be free ne manager. Now, so when the manager no soon tete na enye name wa obia wo not just say you have no business voting for Baumia because the teacher no abon say. And on one, let's also remember say the teacher no cry there your politics move for a long time. Where they are not to office ne kofa ne buy. It was share the new politics ni. And was a best free teacher abon and people. Let's all be honest here.
Yeah, but now you can say only one of us succeeded maybe before they Japan. So how is it that teacher
and no make a succeed me person mutia say 1D1F na a succeed you know. Why not they buy? Whose idea was it? You ratchet my tin idea and or they buy. And I know what MPP nim or my sum. And he say assume na enye hini na MPP for the vote at the bosti who say 1D1F. Sandy pana eba wo say. Well, conform way, and I'm sending me na mentia kunya kesi and so no. I mean me make a decision. No, mumma me kwana say mumma me kwanya. Sa decision ni niema e wo madwi am pese me boa oman no. Obia enye me nam sini onsi makwan. Entimetimi aye de ebro saa. Asem no niti awa no.
Fine. Sister, I think I heard you well you articulated what can you hear, but say what's in another one. Nasa ala the to me the vision assume we say wow kasa succeed aba. Say just one more sao because one can't see kwan into.
Oh, what you to move because na bebo no.
If you met me aba.
Enya na say what digital way ekan. Enya na ofori atako gina your friend is saying parliament command number 165,000 on the quote to yourself what they are missing me boa. Eti ade e bebo me no. Me mabon ono agitum se wabon. Oh, and one who say who could that? Near me, but I can't say to say, I could to say, well, you're not hearing to a more yet. Me knows your politics, but more. If you feel, no, well, it is a fear, me no would a dear grow. Minimum say a fear or you're very smart. No fear the idea, dear ba. Idea no de bano. Even though I am my dear, na me minimum who yan san no anim dear no. Ah, my born on that level no. I will still allow a fear to do it. So the bear glory neba. Since a fear is attached to me, no. Miss Manyabi. I said, no, sound corner.
By association, not just of a so
Sana didn't quack. But
okay, with the emphasis honor. Because the Sana given to my bed, Nipakroya Bessensi, Alan, the poem we say, more achieve because of a so rapid. Ni show this and I thought I didn't want to treat Alan. No one yan fast order.
Say what you were winning politics, Mupa, near my Okoso. You are a journalist. I was starting from the ground, sir. Reporter, a first a producer who will show. It's you know how this thing work. If you ask him how your team, uni nipa sign. Now unim say nipa krone is a threat to you. Now you are in a position to towards that threat, you will do it. Most people. Politics, no. And yama Kufuado de agu akwemo. Na mi busa on one the gene simpie so on countless occasions. Eka say, Minye Alan Chema no manikoi. Omuye say whether that is true or that whether that is a good thing for him to do, I don't know. But per on one pronouncement, Wobi Babusa say why the U-turn? Why the U-turn?
Why the U-turn? So catch Alan say Niniano. Say Niniano no.
Oh, there be Niniano no na. Say the party no. Yesu kono boy no. Me free honum. Me some of these things I don't want to talk about. Okay. I don't want to talk about it. Now thereby me the minimum say if Akwanya was given to the man to excel, they wouldn't have found themselves in a deep hole like this. They wouldn't.
Okay.
They wouldn't. Because Akufo-Addo needed the seat. At that time, he need to bring on board every person, a numbers game, who will contribute to him winning. Exactly.
Yo.
It's as simple as SBC.
Yo.
But I never knew you can say Ghana for more motiwa obia no adwe dem obia onim said the name suko se wonu nipa tena honom bre ya meni ni hwe Mr. Asare se wo girlfriend chiti ana yiri chiti na de che ne baako na o sa akofa biem ba na ase be che na eye wa wasem eti no racha mate wo say ya chiti me first one second one I got to go eye life na no na wo pese mo beti ase mo nti ase ho na wasem se de o say na nisu ade hunu a owo oma oman no se watimi ayedi oye trade minister andakofo de wode boa oman no watimi aba obeye ambassador de wode boa oman no watimi aba baba be ya anda president Akufo-Addo de wode boa oman no yesi o sese mo ma mitumi na enyema egugu ma apunu mu amede agu ho a ebi mede atopunu ma amonhwe no I will do whatever it takes. Nipa me so mokopa about to ya to obia wo ne resume a wo de ba Ghana for yenhwe yemfa bawudu awumia yemfa mahama yemfa alanchematin yenhwe de oma ye wo oma brabom emra omo ma politics mu emra omo ba politics mu enyema oma ye omusu nu omo ba omo character yemfa tupunu ne wadre ne yenhwe de nipa nsem na oka no enu na be determine ebe ma wo hu se owura alanchematin asem a waye bi pen na de wo ka se enam ni suban ni ye ni de wa kire no e kire se de o kan obetimi aye
okay
e simple as ABC we enye twintwintwin enye we ne beye we ne beye yi da media me say de o so de digital eba emboa wo ne me krom fo emboa mo nim digital ne kora sister omo mkuta yamfo oni squad back up to smartphone kora o the yam phone because adwuma ni ho o pipe apetish 87% busa munna museniama ya na mo manipa 50 cedis 100 cedis enye sei because one say ni teme say ye mia nipa na makoma de wo ma etisa no eba no more 50 a no wani age me why solve a problem awo
okay
but ya sheda eye boapayo ene ye mia nipa no ene kom do
okay yo sit up now hang on there's another question I want you which is most money NDC for about Mr. Sari they are now also person
what can some be pray which are let me Phoebe but let me take it from the current one that I'll come back because I'm really Phoebe first one what is what can be about Alana one chere Alan the different party and or government whether it was personal, whether it was an oversight, or whether it's Onima,
also a minister,
Alan was the head of economic affairs in parliament.
Economic affairs in parliament.
In parliament, yes. There was no policy about she was taking a photo say eco parliament, eco cabinet, not Alan in him. So also me boa, it is them me boa.
All the policies economic leader.
He was the head. As a Ghana for which you say, any decision went from parliament to cabinet came under Alan's supervision. What I say, it's it tells you about his personality. I have a lot of respect for the man. What I say, accept where you failed. I give you an example of where I think say he had done something good, but it was a short-term vision. What I say, I'm not going to come and castigate the man. Say we know what you did. What I say, we know what you did well. Or thought we're going to help the country in the short term. We're going to help the country in the long term. I don't even want to get into personal insinuations. Say you're 50-50. That's an insinuation. Me no can say the only person or Ghana why me say mama for bribe or the party hope not do. When he was speaking after the he said the party go for 200 na about more than him into the buff. They didn't even make sense. He had to say his own Alan game was giving bribe to people, but Baumia gave more than him.
And so you are saying that the facts on what admit me,
The other was not factual. I'm not saying who said scan of this was Alan spokesperson. But I said, and now I say they want to which you don't even have proof. But this is coming from somebody who is your spokesperson. What I say, I don't even want to go there because that is not what you're about. You're about to talk about Ghana's vision for the nation. I don't want to get on personal, because those things are not factual. You cannot base it. The only one I can prove is John 1 and then Mwabeka, which is what Hobson said. So then I can start Hobson and Beka and say, Alan, my bribe, and then bribe Nisha. You get it? So let's not even go there. Now, Obusami said, internet access. What have we done? I'll say about edition. On-call online, on checking. When we came in power, internet penetration was 32%. After I speak to you right now, it's about 73%. This is factual. You can Google it and see. This is not being made up. Everybody can go online and Google it. In 2 months now, I can say, oh, MPP4, and Randy saying, mobile internet connection, send them here. That's how I say, because it doesn't support the facts. It's more than doubled internet penetration, and anybody can check. So, okay, I said, maybe she hasn't got the facts. Let me give her the benefit of the doubt. But now she can have to go and cross-check the facts and see the reality for herself. Osaka, let me go back to the economy. But okay, about the economy, say, friend is saying, hey, the buyer, friend said the economy echo from about my intro idea. You buy from 2016, now the down from 2016 to 2020, and you can also still cross-check me. Our economy was growing. I was even the second fastest growing economy in Africa.
Yeah, but that time now more IMF.
Yes, we're still in IMF, right? Since that time, because inflation was roughly around the friend is saying. I thought I had a figure. Inflation was your power no. Before time was about 8%. And the NDC for the core about 15%, right? And I buy
because I know they are for single digits.
Yeah, at most, what's that 8%? The second time from Kufuor, 8%. That time you better keep up when it was about 15%. Okay. Then when things got worse, said around 2020, went to about 54%. And now I say it's about 23%, 24%. And in America, sir, Ghana for about Baya, he has a mechanism of bringing it back down. So who said NDC time being or reducing inflation? It has always gone. They've not been able to reduce it. Because John buying. Yes, we didn't say any more. And that is why Dr. Mahmoud Baumia at the policy about more
time now. Inflation cost should go do 40 something and there's justification. But
no,
because time we had energy crisis, which
yes, that's what I'm telling you,
the inflation because we're spending.
So that energy crisis, were they able to bring it back down? It stayed up, and ours maybe went 53%, but we've even halved it. It tells you that we have the solutions to the problems. But yes, government be about our headwinds. America, sometimes we're going to recessions. So I'm not even going to blame say when the energy crisis and the way you say. What I'm trying to say is which government has the solutions to the problems. That's what I'm focused. I'm focused on the solutions. So when you energy, now when you doom, so I'm not even going to go there. Why not? You have probably proven solution to the problem. But remember another example. Say that Baumia at the FN is saying one of the issues that we were facing, fuel. Because the fuel, because everything is all our standard is bought in dollars. We buy fuel in dollars. Anytime there is an uproar in the OPEC, and I say it affects our CD value. Because everything is in dollars. We don't produce that much. Until say every implementing of Baumia policy instead of expanding the tax bracket, making people have better domestic production. That's what's going to be a problem. And new internet, Dr. Baumia, a day, a friend is saying, go for oil policy nearby, right? And we saw how it stabilized the city, even though the city is still going back up. So say, okay, so see the cost. Then I saw here. Now, he thinks that what we need to do is to back the economy, our city with gold. I don't know, Okasa. As I speak to you today, Ghana has a record amount of gold reserves ever since independence.
How has that helped the economy?
That will help the economy because why now you have the gold reserve, you can begin to start using that. Because you got to a year with gold for oil, no, right? You got to fuel first, not the and say the dollars to go to fuel, no, right? But say your arrangement with your oil producer, say gold, no. Into your mom gold that no my oil. No. How does that help? How does that help? So what the dollars got to fuel right? I want to be on forward tracking. Because I'm going to say see the linear stable. Into I'm the bit so. Into your man say fuel on here two CDs I'm going to get 10 CDs. Because the dollars in the koto. When you say China go on but so we go directly. What they go doesn't fluctuate, that for instance, something that's is not there. 2, how do we even get the gold? Big gold companies no more Ghana no. Here go see this employees can daily operations. Right, so we told them so okay, some here see this. Then she here gold. It is kind of daily operations. Just see this, no, not my gold, no. That's one of the reasons why we are seeing our gold reserves go up.
But Mr. still to the average Ghanaian voter, no. More aggregate. So, and yet, and economy, I will come home gold for oil to the average voter, no, and reflect on the bottom.
Example. Now, saying, Mammy be Eba, and your scholarship, oh, you, Miss Woman, member sending so, bro. A crowd to us, as I'm a meno, and I'm not saying free to not free as it is. Because there was no hope. Send the bar. Ever next class for to do a PhD in economics and finance. So, make so. What I say? On the same vein, agriculture, right? Also, why would you say agriculture? We got to be reaching good about 1.5% because it was way better than what NDC did because NDC was going at the negative percentage. I'm telling you, we went to 1.5% from a negative percentage. That's a tremendous growth.
It's because free negative they are for 1.7.
So right now, no, we are also boom. You have a try. They're going to be sorry for PGR, so we are now a record renting.
When you're 8 years in office, tomato your free Burkina, Jane your free Burkina, more planting for food and jobs. I'm over 2 Sicano. When you have a Scano, this Necopen Scano. Mobile planting for food and jobs. So what is the reflection in a grape? Jobs are more crazy.
So when you make these arguments, basically I always ask people, say, where are you getting the data from? We don't judge if anything, Ghana just based on a crime Kumasi. So see, I mean, what I say. So who come to and see in toast I mean the problem is that getting the cat to bring it to the city centers. If the was 15 in our can that price is not even relative. If anything,
why is it not getting to the city?
It's a problem because it's a problem. It's a person,
Galamse,
and one thing I don't say you have your vision. It says, I told them we've done about 11,000 roads. But because we realize that the problem is not the price of the food, the problem is getting the food to the city centers. Into our Bayano or Bayaquan, send a class, but timid nine Abba, season Abaton, not a Bonaba form. If you just focus, say, oh, in India, you're solving the problem because every year, a lot of food gets spoiled because they cannot transport it to the city centers. So that is the problem. Started building the infrastructure, the roadways to be able to do it. You can another by 11,000, more than twice what was done, and you cannot tell me that is not progress. That is how you solve a nation's problem. Also, we have to think ahead. What I say? The other thing about jobs, why I had jobs, I had for a lot of startup jobs. Oh, I didn't think that they are not paying them so much. But believe me, the price of literacy is so high. So and then in this world that even be a skater, it doesn't even need to be provide that internet connectivity, provide access to them. They can even get their own, a friend is saying, their own skill. Some people are making money off YouTube. They're saying that all these actors are booming because now they have that access. And that's internet penetration by 73%. But people can just go in there and create jobs for themselves. What I'm saying is internet access. So more internet access, they can now use that facility, to expand on their own. What I say? Because now, we have internet access, and now you're buying 32%. as I speak to you right now, is 73%. And the goal is to get Ghana 100% internet wide. Oh, so these are long-term visions. But only long-term, so mommy more internet, because internet now, it didn't do it may be a lot of avenues for these young ones. We are employing so many people that we cannot just employ them, because we need to say, I'm not buying for everything employ you be. So you have to create resources. Everybody self-employed. A crime no way, right? The economy that is not driven by the government is driven by mostly the small-scale businesses. And why are they able to do that?
An advanced country. Ghana to advanced.
Actually, she made up on me. That's password came. Also, I say, oh, and at the to America. You say we are not at the America's level, but that doesn't stop us from implementing things that we think are good and can benefit the nation. Let me give you an example. Just say I'm no way. America, I'm away, right? You'll be a friend of social security card. I said numbers, right? Also, your social security number, a chair we need to buy anyway. And your driver's license. I'm going to improving to what they call a real ID. Because right now it includes your biometrics. In America, you have to have these 2 documents to prove yourself. You just want to buy anything, so you have to have these 2 documents. Ghana, we have one card, which is the Ghana card, which does 2 things that what they call it is the only 2 things that is done in America. Our Ghana card does the identification, also has biometrics. It takes 2 forms of ID in America to do it. So America don't go to get 4 because you didn't do. That is not the right mindset. If you can progress beyond that, progress. That's what I'm talking about. And let's say we are trying to copy America. What if you are trying to do is how it even benefits us. Dubai and almost most countries are going for e-visas with the biometrics. Most countries, even the US, are even looking at doing that. It's a more so this is so easy. On social security Ghana card, because now we're going towards e-visas. That is the vision that the man has for the nation.
The man the dollar and the airport. Almost fundamentals, so I did go on.
That is what I'm going to expand that.
This is a clear case of I am up here, and so I'm thinking up here, and I'm not considering the people down here. Ghana middle class, almost population, you're saying. Ghana middle class population, you're saying. Or more from no population, you're saying. Or more from no. A dozen say or more stroha. Ye share worth a crana. Ghana because some more music from your bear for 4% and being charitable. It is a wish your system, but 96% of the people are poor. It is all the catcher me say Ghana card. And the internet probability. Now the catcher me mabnet me to be a mimi a year meal. Obi get to the 1,000 Ghana. And a dija, none is a con I catch internet. In fact, a new aboa worker any bresso. Not me who there's a mecha. Because me pet me see me baby a mijinano, baby a mijinano, no one who trim. And I who are buying, Mako di line more at but the amount. Edi me to me amount say, I who chena mum no, also when him dear be at the beba, my who chena so better. Who buy out see internet portability in some market. Me the end. Dear Ejuma, ye quine, one one you soon chrome example. Me see tomatoes no mudiana. Or no as I shoot in the photo. Endru jaso add dentina or magia tomatoes 90 min drew jaso. Equine yet. It is a Ghana ni kuani edria adie. Me see me ba me cultural area hono. Cabbage, me rain feeder. Cabbage, omuton 20 pesos. Me ba Kumasi adum. Baby am rofu market, on friend rofu market. Aya 3 cities. Enti esi ho egu oma hihye no bebrebe na egu ho. Ena nsuo free ase ba because e pro. Car na be free ho. Aba bedru Kumasi. Ekwan ni nye. And no one 17.
I'm to my 11,000 kilometers.
Not me pacho. I say, me person me call honum. Say, who is the more? Who is the more? Omu build airport. Not that it's a bad thing. But say ufa nipa 20. Omote baby a yesi airport no. Now we saw almost say again here my airport is not one of them. My issue with government upon government ni say enyema ehia na ebema nipa ahoa atono no. Enye no hono no mo hwe. Enye say airport ni here, but this time no opa adwuma ye. So onye adwuma ye na economy ni bumi a airport ni beba ebehu behia adai enyema bi free baby ba na ba sese na adwuma ni ho. Onye adwuma nye.
But are you by that saying say ya nye adwuma abanbia tackle adwuma dia nothing else should be done. And this ya tackle adwuma we answer na.
Adwuma no enye adwuma ne nko a. A cluster of things. Adwuma ye adwuma no. Ye kan ye sisi industries near ye adwuma no near produce near export na e de dollar abekro na stabilize a city no. Near ye ekwan so. Na omo ye locally omo ye farming no so atimi anya access omo product aba beton. Me say me akasa me de mani Cote d'Ivoire. E free Cote d'Ivoire ufa esoro no mbesi akwa maka kire plantation nko left and right o drive about 30 minutes me say left and right body nko anomadua ne dia e export e ka omo cocoa ho and na America o call shops are one number one snack e plantain chips o adenti ne e wa asase na asase no e good asase na da bia se wo di gold akwakoje oil na wo di aba na wo di oil ne ba oil no e wo ni impact wo economy no sister let's all be honest aduane ne oil no de hi na ye more impactful gold no so amode call ye no sika se na me I am not interested in me interest ne say mo bia me fa fon frɛ me obi nya adwuma ye na se sika on botoma o me ha mi o na bia sika am de be na ma da sende enti adie ya yemma ye ni nko ya agriculture so yemma ye ni nko ye agriculture ni kuayo se be ye mass production na ye nko honom se ye nya nkofo ne mass production na agriculture is booming now we are exporting na then your taxes now o kan ye no ebeba wa ha
but stop now to the Mr. Asari can say I get no from where they took it from NDC now was negative. It was a crowd bomb because first year no problem for 1.7.
Sister, Mr. McCarthy said ye to Obama say be solve problem. Problem no solve e nipa e wo krom ho no. Omo no be determine say solve and I solve. Per the indicators e bebem. E say see a ukobusa average Ghanaian no be ka chese man solve. We ye no kra ba kope. Ye to Obama wa or how no man wo mu. Usu ni nyansa usu ni nimdie obetima sesa ye hyebre enti ne ato aba ma enti so oba na de free 0 akọ 1 na nya meaningful impartation on the people is a fail according to them simple as ABC. Enti let's focus on our infrastructure, let's focus on our economy and agri. If you are able to put all our eggs in this area, sister, my sister digital some number beba easily because now we have the basics. So person who ye order aduane free baby utifie na fa computer now order aduane a ye farmer no na be farm na transportation ni dia bekrum na be good store ho amwatimi a order no be deliver am enti without the farmer no farming transportation roads not being working no so will order now wo ye with your internet is not going to work 1 2 3 start from 1 then you go to 2 3 and 4 but MPP for any NDC for one person started from 10 Emra solving 1 2 3 and 4 no. How is that going to work? So you don't have any fundamental idea of the basis. So I'm at the opposite. Yet nobody is saying now more kekano. To say about me kekano, it's a bad idea. Nobody is saying that. But I'm saying say there who can who can tax system. America tax system, you use social security card. Social security who are near the amount. Unless it's a weird.
I'm not trying to remind her before she shoots herself in the foot. Into their costume.
Near the amount. Yeah, the mawa. Ubi bia uye wo krom habian is intertwined with that particular number.
I think about
it's ongoing. It's actually ongoing in Ghana. Ghana system.
No. It's yeah. No, yeah. Can't what I say. My social security asem na work no. Me babeka, I'm not going to speak negative about it. Starting from her, the identity no ebeboa amwa you say, but the chrome why it is no. Nobody is saying say it is not a good thing. We shouldn't expand it. But say no, a komo ba na nkofo second. Na a how ba. They are not thinking of social security. Please, let's know say right now. I'm just serious about more. I thought that there'll be a day bano. Nyansa ni patrim. Baby uncle for or mafa or mabrabum. They have acquired certain knowledge. Some of us we are not privy to. It is a fact. But sesiano, a dear nebeya ye baby who free. Ho na ye woman sesiano. And the 2 areas are a ya dear bet me attacking. What are these 2 areas? People are complaining. Ejianism, and a dear beam, and now your friend is a economy no. Now when you are when you say nipa here jumaya, and no our attitude, your mindset, no subeti masesa.
Okay.
And yes, idea say yes, I near man bibia sesa e wokronim because obia onia hochiremu no where jumaya and only ne kasa ni reasoning different. And at the accommodation on any kasa ni reason so different.
Different. Okay.
And to say person who drew our level now, let's tackle this issue. And to nipa miensa no more per year. For me, there were the idea bar a bit me aboa or mine. What dream a mine one who says, say ni na ye memory here and no real lunch matin. And yes, the omo can know, but me practical some right now. Internet today, mo first say and you'll be on the call first 100, 100, and you'll be on the
and this is the level 100 now, and you'll
be on the Kobe and a free SHS. No, one more campaign, a free SHS, it's mobile free SHS one of me. I don't know other things no more come was him. And the other time also on the show, somebody is talking about AstroTurf, Nam's brother, Uber Casa some cram, Uber say, if AstroTurf from her. Would you buy AstroTurf, Nessa name, my name, Movia, and Quabia, Muntimi maintaining. What you do is say build community centers. That the impartation, bringing people together, teaching them more and some courage maybe so that will be a way we have a SHS no. Ye many community centers be say fit in a jumo say adi pumping NSSA Alancha Martina da Roma. What did a traditional whereby under Kufono Amana Kenya ye no more mukosunya diploma first now mujai because they say a better fashion. Will be a warrior will frack until or yes say and Friday way. Sunday many no share and near my debay ma sub you or more margin and dear moment me uncle school. Etimia Boawom. These are issues we need to talk on. Now, stop it, America. We are not even close to New York budget crisis in Ghana. New York, right? New York budget is in Ghana. The whole Ghana
university, not some university budget crisis in Ghana. But December 7th, near December 7th, but
Mama responding to Mr.
Just 1 minute. Yes, I only
just 1 minute. That's what I've been responding to a lot of things. She's still not really getting the vision, and I want to win her to MPP because I said now I can. But the first and foremost, she didn't even dispute the facts. I'm a Kayan, which is good. She accepted what I said was true. So that is here. I wanted to make sure I said she didn't dispute the facts. So let's come to her friends saying, yeah, here no. What I mean, my example, so I'll start with food, economy, and attitude. This is why I love Baumia. What I say, because when you have vision, you can solve these problems. How is Baumia solving these problems? My example with the food, you say the key issue, the problem we are facing is bringing the food from the producing areas to the city centers. And that is why we've done 11,000 rows so that this food can come to the city centers. What is the next thing? The next thing may be storage. What I say? When it's storage facility, so we can store it when there's harvest time, and when it's lean time, we can share. The figure on the rows that we've done. There are the rows that we've done at Ashanti Ridge. There are the rows that we've done from the food. Everybody can go and see it. What I say? I told you we've done 11,000 roads. I can be fact checked. What I say? And so that is how you solve the food issue. Okay, then you come to the economy.
But as I want to say, since I'm here, the alleged 11,000 rows. Now this is the impact on our grade. Have you done that so that you can tell us?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you. Saying Tina, a friend is saying from 2020 to 2022, your economy went to 1.7 and it went almost down, got to almost zero again, and now coming back up.
Food inflation is so high.
Exactly, it's coming.
Food inflation is high. It is
relatively high.
Food inflation is so high.
Food inflation is still high because we don't have the assets in place. We have to build the roads. What is it now? Also in the government, one long
road, you know. It is the roads now. Why do we have that inflation, you know?
Because I'm saying it's an ongoing process. But I'm going to say Ghana is saying our roadway network, it's an ongoing process. Because why are there roads now? The food is not going to come. So now we've started tackling the problem. It's Baomiaba, right? He's going to continue this process because we know that is the problem. The problem is not about where they are producing, how getting the food to the city center. So we need to do more roads, have more storage facilities. We have to bring the price down. The other thing Okasa he was talking about, your friend is saying the economy. And the economy, the only way that you can build an economy is to have two basic things that you need. You need data. Also, who said maybe building economy, you need that data. That is the first thing. And also you need to have what you call an address system. These are two basic things that there is no economy.
Before our mobile power, not GPS so we already
GPS no address system. You shouldn't confuse the facts. GPS no address system. What is it? GPS is not an address system. You can have a GPS. The first thing your GPS doesn't mean it's not address. What I say? GPS is a means to create an address system, but it's not an address system. So you shouldn't confuse both. That would be getting it very, very wrong.
It's a more address system. No crime on
it says saying no. Says me come my HF ya my channel ton abe. Me ka say my channel cocoa for cocoa jerry I say oh me put my HF shema yima I can go there. But more
GPS GPS no so bo shema no ado be ko.
GPS no right. You didn't even know the GPS is a worldwide coordinate system. But it doesn't know say who fear na material say address nini. Then I'll go back.
It generated digital pins.
How is it going to generate it?
Location.
How is it going to generate it? So when you address how is it going to generate it?
It generates. How? Location be open here. It generates now.
How is it going to generate it?
Coordinates, no.
Who do location? How do you get there?
How
do you get there? That's what the question I'm asking you. That's an address system. A GPS will not get you there. A GPS is a means. It's a means to create an address system. A GPS by its own is not going to get you there. What
Ghana Post the address system in my to be baby because even though we start mobile power, your contract, all street names.
All street names. And then but you have to step here, but you have that document never send the brand. What mean who so
they were given the contract to do street naming.
Ask whether they did it. They win the contract. That's whether they did it. Another issue. I wouldn't say you are wrong. I'm not privy to
because maybe too aggressive, very.
So that street name, right? That street name, you have to link it to a system that links it to the satellite. You can have that satellite to the GPS. The street name itself is not valid. It's time the street name. Unless I link it to a satellite database. That's an address system. A GPS is a satellite. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So if I say Google, I want GPS satellites all around the world. It doesn't mean say if you don't create that database and link your database to that satellite system, you're going to have access to it.
Okay.
That's the point I'm trying to bring. I'm trying to bring it. But let me give you more examples. Into about the economy, right? I was telling you, sir, if you don't have these basics in your economy, you cannot grow. If you don't have a very good address, if you don't have the database. Also, like I said, America say you work with Lebiana. Question. You work with Lebiana. You man ID, and that ID follows you for the rest of your life. Now it's been implemented in Ghana. Actually, Lebiana has that unique ID. Which basically can become your thing when you want to open a job. But I said, I know from the time I want to say, We grow you know be Juma. The idea the Juma the 10 number. That is a visionary leader. What I say, and that is how you build an economy when you have these systems. Say you know, and this work I say free SHS. Right? No moment. And I said, say, you're making this argument, but what system are you going to use in place to be able to make that judgment? The only time you can be able to do that is if people start filing their taxes. It was a make Janice Amiti, you make 100,000 CDs, right? Into more this 100,000 bracket. But you make it 20,000, right? And now you have the database to prove people's income and don't we also were in this because okay, more filing with taxes no. More minus kakrano. Because school fee, that's the incentive for you to help you bring you to the middle income now. All kind of. Why when you 100,000? Because now we have the database to prove it. You can pay. So when you say now that you have the system in place, people should pay for free education. Now it makes sense. But if you don't have the vehicle, how do you do that?
Okay.
That is why data is very important.
Okay. I can't think that anywhere say data is important. But
no, I'm trying
to a numbers person. But I think the point that he was making is yes, 33 they are for 2. They are for 10. Problem no.
Oh, no, the 1 year mistake was her one is not based on data. That's the point I'm trying to understand. Without any data to back what they are doing. And then now we are making decisions based on data. That data should be the one for her. That's the point I'm trying to get to her.
Maybe when the question no. Also data name the click on the heading in that address.
It should be your basis for decision making.
Okay. Now what is the data built on?
What is data? But I don't understand your question.
No, because say who here the person who said America for economy no and adwuma say ne add into economy now. And on data, but data no never provide say New Jersey are day 10. New York are day 20. Near Campbell, near Casse. For this week, you share New Jersey, New York, all the states now. You 100,000. Now, data no has to be built on something.
Yes.
That is where you will come in and say New York build in 100. New Jersey 100. North Carolina na 20. But what's the economy is built on data. But before the data can give you that information, there has to be something where the information will be generated from. Now, what no na me busa will say, "Ukas economy in your data no." The data and information there, the boom na akase yesi no. Where is that information coming from?
Can I answer you?
Is it not that somebody working at your friend is a Susanso? Isn't somebody working at Brofuyedu? Is it somebody working at Makase? A bono, and yes, a farmer's no more bono. Now, what you when we almost the bro $5 they buy.
Okay.
More Western with almost the $6 they buy. Now data now recorded. You can't tell me that the economy is built on data when the basics
the reality there one formula. Okay.
Yeah, what from no? You see, that's why I keep on saying
the point. And I say,
her point is even wrong. No, I thought I'm going to answer her rightly because her point now is even wrong. So if she wants me to answer it, I can answer it for her. But if she wants to answer it on her own, let me answer it for you. Also, on the key points, we say, how do you get your data? I wanted to understand her. Because I told you, said next year we are trying to make sure everybody files their taxes, right? When you file your taxes, sir. Sister Fia, you file your taxes, sir. It comes with how you're getting your money. You don't just go and just file the tax. First, what job are you doing? What I say, because
if you don't have a job, you are not working.
If you are not working, right? So the data now working, it captures you in that bracket. My example be say, we're in some being 23 SHS. I'll say, okay, this category of people, because they didn't get any income, let them go to school for free. That is how you use the data. So by you even filing your tax, it gives you that database now or no air cannon. That's how you get that information.
And you might filing tax on zero income. Can you file your tax on zero income?
Yes.
And what would the government get from
zero income? You don't get. You can file tax on zero income. You didn't make any earnings, so you don't pay anything.
So it then doesn't help the economy. What are you saying?
It helps the economy because what you're assuming everybody's on zero income. What I'm telling you right now is
majority of the people.
Let me answer your question.
Numbers.
Let me answer your question. I told you, sir, right now, no, if anything, income tax in Ghana is less than 4%. By us filing taxes, no, that number is almost about 80 to 90%. Does it mean all of them are making money? No, right? No. Let's even assume, sir, they are not making money. We are still getting another 40% in addition to whatever regular income that we are taking. That is the thing that I'm talking about.
May I answer my question? One answer.
Taxes
there be taxes I send out. Taxes I send out by what can income bracket assembly here. So we file on zero a year. Obi a 1 year jumano. Obi a 1 year jumano oniska. Ontimi nkoto adie. Buying and selling.
Filing taxes. I'm not going to file taxes. Answer that question. Answer that question. Yes or no?
It's not every person.
Yes or no? That was the question.
Some people do. Some
Please
people don't.
answer the simple question.
Yes or no? Mommy, answer a question.
Clearly. So be honest, to file taxes. So they can file the taxes.
Yes, some people do.
That's what I want.
Let me explain. Those that they file on zero taxes, they want the government to support them because they didn't have income.
That is data, right?
Once again, with the American system, Ghana, which I'm telling you, it's not going to work. That is the problem.
How is it going to work?
It's not going to work because.
Tell me how.
Me file taxes. You see, I feel my year Juma 20,000. Per what my social security tells the government. Per the W2 form, the company I work for, no. Omudia mama say, Sika omudi ma mine 20,000. When I go to my expenditure, 20,000 will go to my rent. Ebi beko me rent. Ebi beko dem DDD. Michia renter. Sa real estate company, no. Their business will go up. They will employ people. And that is why the economy grow. Misika menya no so no. Meko akoto aduane. Meto petrol. Taxes did that so. It helps also the state because I was state tax system. It is a ukache me say we be file tax on zero income, which means he did not add anything to the economy. And the majority of the people in Ghana are zero income for. It's when you talk about tax bracket, we ever see a post to tax
on that statement.
Social security now social security.
How to correct it? But it's making a which are false. That's actually very false.
Oh, false, Sandra.
Majority of Ghana are on zero income. What is happening? But you're pushing majority of zero income. You see, the problem is not about zero income. That is what I tell you, sir. You need a government.
Why you just say zero income and I'm explaining it to you.
We're pushing majority of Ghanaians, so that is wrong. That's the wrong statement.
Ghana boy, a lot of us know that but December 7th, we have a situation where NPP is trying to break the 8, and this is trying to make the 8 because we 8, President Mahama have free power, so they are trying to make the 8. We have a situation, historical situation where Alan, I'm not NPP for now. I see no way. Almost see not it's a black eye. So he's going to do something different and break the 8, for the two parties. We have a situation. New forces, Chadanom, Kofi Krantenum are also amassing, which is an shows there's resentment in the system. In terms of leadership, say and what is likely to happen in the election. Mr. Sam, also do you think more MPP for say? Even a response on the ground. Momo beti me breaking 8, and look at what NDC is doing. Almost a 24-hour economy. It been a normal day. First year they have a manifesto launch. They are improving on everything that you promised. They are improving. Moka Sambama Freeport. Or my also Freeport. I think I mentioned first and sana more MPP for Moka Kofa or Movision. They are really matching you because more pressure is on you. That is the incumbency disadvantage. What do you think will happen in December 7th?
Yo, sister, if you have before I even go on to tell people, say we are going to win, no. Okay, I send me there. Also, they are improving on our vision. When you say if I manifesto my, we actually launched.
Performance is enough manifesto. Penny.
Manifesto. Step, I'm sure the difference. Our performance is what we say. You rule as a government, right? They say, come on, I advise you say, or campaign. What is she talking about? She's talking about what she's going to come and do. I don't know when is a CA. What does she? What is the assistant that are in place that she has to implement certain things now? What she's going to come and do? What does she? The manifesto crowd, now they are even trying to improve on what we've actually done.
But the moment
once you hear a manifesto on the 18th, it will actually blow the mind of Ghanaians. The visionary ideas will actually blow the mind of Ghanaians. In terms of NDC, I'm trying to build on what we've done. It's mind blowing. Wait till this Sunday. Never 80 MB manifesto. You'll be blown up. Ghana is going to see a visionary leader come to articulate what is going to take us to our next level. Let me answer a question. Just putting that aside, say our manifesto is coming. There are a lot of things that is going to solve. It's going to give you real solutions to our problem, bold solutions, as the Vice President has said. Why are we going to win December 7th, hands down? Also, when you ask this question, it boils down to yes, we are going to win. But for me, being very practical, I look at the historical data and I look at the current conditions and I try to merge the two. What I say, what has been the historical data? How have we won elections? And what are the current conditions? And what makes sure we can break the 8? When I look at all these things, my example, 2016, right? 2016, basically we won over 1 million votes. The most influential third-party candidate, the whole third-party, I think, 2016, they got about 1.75%. The most influential was Dr. Pagosi Indium. But not Indium, Jumerura. He almost had almost every regional bank, I don't know, Indium got about less than 0.99, about one. Let me just give that run up to 1%. What you are saying? When I compare Indium's impact to all the new guys that are coming in, I think Indium had a greater impact. And even Indium had 1.9%. Even if I predict it, I don't think, sir, the new force is coming in, Alan is coming in, but I don't think, sir, they're really going to make any impact. It's basically between the MPP and NDC. Over 2020 election, all the opposition, they got about 1.32%. The highest was Charles, I think, Goom, right? Only about 0.78. So if I look at this, if I do this trend analysis, it tells me, sir, Ghana, most likely, a third force is not going to make an impact. Most likely. What I say? That is one area that I look at it. Then I also look at how is MPP going to win the election? Aside this third force, right? How are we going to win the elections? So if we take our data from 2016 to 2020, one of the major reasons why we're able to beat the NDC by about 500,000 votes in 2020 is because of the participation in the North. Northern region was where we were losing. Those times we were having about 25%, we have about 75%. As I speak to you right now, there are regions where we are beating the North. I can give you figures. Those are the figures. Make figures where we are beating NDC in the North. What I say? So it tells me even Northern region, the margin used to be 25%. As I speak to you right now, last election, MDC beat us by just 4.5% in the Northern region. What I say now, I have the numbers. If you want me to, I can quote them to you.
Go on.
Not right? We beat the last election. We beat NDC Northeast by 2%. NDC actually lost 1.5% in Northeast. So when I look at the Northern region as a whole, people say so they don't have the numbers, but they still count to us because it was an NDC stronghold where they were beaten by significant margins. Now that margin has been closed. Okay, so looking at this, NDC is also making inroads in the Ashanti region. That's what I was going to say. Ashanti region has got the numbers. So I look at the numbers in the Ashanti region, right? For us to go to a second round, not only do NDC needs to be able to make ground for at least 500,000, but first 2016 at 1 million. Right? Not 2020, about 500,000. To work as let's be logical. They need to wire the 500,000 out, right? And be able to get 50% plus one. How are they going to get that when we are matching them in the North? Are they going to limit us to how are they going to limit us in the Ashanti region? You know,
but NDC is already NDC in your last election, we had 25% in Ashanti region. Ashanti region.
How many years they got 25%. So NDC.
I'm saying that 25% NDC. So if you take away 25, no, not because
balance. I'll talk about Alan and why it's not even significant. And tell me about this. I'll talk about Alan's influence. You know, I mean, let's focus on NDC. But I think those are the major categories. What is it? NDC 25% now. NDC historically, you know, they've got about 38% Ashanti rate. That was Jerry's time. Their votes have almost been along the same chart. The difference has always been the same. 25, 75, 24. What is it? So it's not really changed that much. It's just that the numbers, population migration, the number is going up. But in terms of the voter difference, it's almost always the same. It's not like the North where we are coming from 25 to almost now making 45, 50%, making that even. As in the NDC, I don't think, sir, you know, one, they're going to make up those inroads. You know? And I want to know, right? You cannot tell me, sir, you're going to win because there's apathy in my stronghold. That may solve my problem, eh? So that's not even a good strategy. And that is what we are doing. We are not saying, sir, there's no problems on the ground. We are going to be very silly. We had a very, very broken presidential election system. But that is why Dr. Bawumia, being as humble as he is, you know, is going to every constituency, going to every region, trying to mend the fences. As we are trying to bring them back. Yeah, I'm say better, let's stop now. Ground is okay, but we don't have to be complacent. The ground here, but we don't have to be complacent. Complacency is different from before time. And because Kufuor done so well, we're going to see that. So we're going to be complacent. The ground is okay, but we don't have to be complacent. So you need everybody. Alan for to be able to win, and that is what we are working on. So when I look at all these
NDC, what about, because if you look at 2020 election, lose majority of move seats.
Yes. My
prediction is likely said it may follow the same trend.
And I'm going to give you a number.
Presidential. Muluzi 2.5% of total vote between 2016 and 2020. 2.5% of vote Muluzi.
Yes.
Muluzi in NDC. NDC gained 2.5% of the total. They even got
that's correct.
Plus 0.1. So we do 2.5%.
Yes,
so
but that was 500,000.
You are the under 5. You see, 500,000 amunya and for can they be outside because much bribery. I'm not going to bribe voters no to mama. Yes, sir. And Parliament to credit.
Let me answer this question. You see, when people don't speak on facts, this
is statistics.
NDC's own chairman, not a general secretary, the own chairman, they couldn't even collect their own election figures. And he's even justified why he couldn't went to court and he couldn't even defend his own numbers. The Pekka said, it doesn't really make sense. So let's even leave it at that. But let me tell you why, and I'm going to give you a number today and mark it on the wall. We'll come back and have this debate after December 9th. So I don't believe that we're going to get less than 142 seats in Parliament. Why am I saying this? Majority of the Parliament seats here, we shot ourselves in the foot. Some of them was because we imposed our candidates that the people really didn't like. We made a mistake as a party. We have to admit that. And I said there was a lot of imposition in some of our constituencies. If I say the friend say Fomina saying we have to go back to him. There's something that we could have addressed as a party. Mm-hmm. And now we can say, how many disputes did you see in our votes? Just about 1 or 2. And also we had a problem. Maybe I did so. But I said just about 1 or 2. And then the one come for the problem to tell you, we are even solving that because we've realized it was a problem. These are the things that cost us some of these seats. And I can assure you, sir, come this election, we are going to win those seats back because we've learned our lesson as a party. And then you say, mark it on the wall, say we are not getting less than 142 seats.
Okay.
142 seats in Parliament. We don't get we know where we made mistakes and we are going to get there. Okay. The question about Alan region.
Okay, because my person have now answered that question now can't tell you
Alan Forten Ashanti region. Alan Yobia, I have a lot of personal respect for him. I've met him just once in tea. They say I cannot speak bad about him. I'm saying he's way older than me. He's achieved a lot. That is done. But then let's separate that from Alan, as how many people as Alan bring into the vote. I've seen Alan's numbers from the time of contesting Nanado, right, which was almost a tie, all the way to the Alan got about before major elections. When I look at the trajectory of Alan's support, it's always going down. From the peak at when he contested Nanado up to today, the numbers are going down. That is the reality. Oh, that because compare. It's public data. Time Alan and then another call. The friend is saying
2007.
2007. Exactly. All the way to the primaries now. This is public data. I'm not making it up. His numbers are going down. You can actually say, oh, I'm but the reality is the numbers are going down. So when I look at that, right, and I look at where is Alan coming from? Alan, pretty much political issue was also tied, whether we like it or not, was also tied to President Kufuor. People that know President Kufuor and Alan Bay and all that stuff. That's whether it's factual or not, I'm not going to debate that. But the point I'm trying to make is now we have a team comprising of Dr. Baumia and what do you call it? And Dr. Matupoku Prempe. These are two people that even the whole vibe from Kufuor has been endorsed. What I say. So when you take out all these
No.
He endorsed Baumia. He was on that IPS. About and you're going to see that. What I say. But the point I'm trying to make, I'm trying to let you know in a sense. So with this,
Alan.
And I mean who yet? So to endorse Alan, I'm just a video in the break because I mean who yet saying to endorse Alan. They met me a car and say, yeah, your friend is saying Napoko mention in that you 2 4 kind. I'm going to compare that what he said about Alan. Maybe who said to endorse. What I say, or sing that's what I heard. Me who I know, I mean who because my audience what I've seen. So to was on him said, what I say, because I have to look at what he said about Alan. Maybe I cannot speak to it. But I'm saying that he was a character of his character, and he cannot define that. That is the highest that you can get from such a person to 2 4. But I wouldn't even call that an endorsement. I wouldn't even call that an endorsement because 2 4 politics. What I say. The only way that I see that is he's endorsing the man's character, and for me, it's good enough. But I'm not going to even go into 2 4 endorse because 2 4 doesn't do politics. I'm not getting into that. The point I'm trying to say is when you're bringing the Alan factor, majority of Alan's base was based on the Kufuor fashion, and that is the reality. And for Kufuor to come and say, Kufuor to come and endorse Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and to tell you, say, Alan's base is eroding the Ashanti region, and I can assure you, and I'm giving you another number, that Alan will not get more than 1% in the Ashanti region.
More than 1% in Ashanti region.
He won't make that in Ashanti region.
Okay. But I said
I would like to hear what he said, but he doesn't do politics. Some guys say, "Me, didn't endorse Napo." For all Ghanaians. Exactly. Alan is a fine gentleman. I don't have a problem, any personal problem with him. I just say, but the reality is the numbers. I'm just looking at the numbers and the figures. It shows that
don't work for
the numbers show a downward trajectory. So when I'm looking at the numbers, that's how I would need to I do with data.
That's how it will become a NBC numbers, but is that insignificant in Ashanti Radio, insignificant nationally. Elections in second round. You will not make more than even 1%.
Yo, Obia Waha or Candy, a beboa, a man in call for it here. But 2024 election year, you to December. One thing we all have to know, say, Nipa Adrian Adaho, Nipa Eni Adaho. We are talking on issues, and Obia issues no de eba the main measure a beboa meno. Nipa na waka nsem gidi amonu so betima na mijina so ato about. I always say let's do politics of ideas, policies. Inti se obi aba no so be enuma waye bi da ame yahu the idea of the cars 6 companies they fee abroad buy even a minister no nya vice president no nya president na nipa na ba no se mame kwan this and that na me pese me ye na ohwe saa nipa no na pede waye no unim so betimi aya eno na abeto abama no because antisa first na said you nipa didn't have access to information and the nipa were access to information and nibie meka say from 2020 to now and nibie aba more enti nipa adwimu ada ho enti enye se eyezu eyeza na eshi rado ne edeko eye de wasetena owo mu right now eniema enkoso kanea enye stable omo factory adwuma enye enkoyi de oye hairdresser fitafo obi a oye adwuma odi electricity ye eniema enye stable mano sebio ukobre kra na beda ehyewa wo Ghana fan kra wontimi so bi all these things you look at it oh ade about net no people vote based on eniema ha wo pressing issues ha wo it is a wo hwe na se wo si mahama baye baby odi ekoduru ye no yesi onye eni etu no yesi na dwuma anso eni etu ni ede akufu adubai ni ede ba nya yesi na dwuma anso ni we have no other choice as to say be vote ama kofo mienu a 32 years obi a kire say dwuma no muntimi ye it is time say Ghana for ye beji atum say yensesa ya adwen se wo sori anopa na wo fure adwuma wo kwa adwuma from Kenya ase ebe kuma ase na wo ye se odu adwuma mu 8 o'clock na wo free fie 7 wo free fie 7 na traffic da bia achi wo bedu adwuma 8:15 edru me bia esa wo sesa wa adwe se meet me free fie 7 esa me free fie 6:30 na matimi adru adwuma mu by 8 enti ensesa enema tu na ye constant wi ase miensa ewuo awo eni se wo besesa wa adwen edru mre yesi nipa wo sesa wa adwen na ohu se parties too ye o mabai wo ma anya ye mwa wo enema om so mbego o man solve the pertinent issues ha nipa no o man solve no because o man solve yanka we will not be at this clock yes engine economy no
very well stop now but answer question now all can say even irrespective of these problems
me kamba say person no so mpese hu adekonti ebe wo ni ewo December in asem no na msi nipa ni dwa ho nipa ni yada ho manifesto so blueprint number obi anim de bekọ akosi na omuso omo be wini a yen we are focusing on the people politics no your numbers we are focusing on the people what we will do for them so omuso omo to about 2020 na mo free 169 akọ 37 na also be wini a it's up to you from 2020 eba no kra na economy na nya bad say you esu kra mo no mo bo bracket e parliament ananya sa netie obu free 169 ko 137 NPP for sunya 137 na onu ankasa su ka say wo mo ni ye ni wo mu suban no tutu asem no na ko se wo mo minum ye nu nyina ye ni mo asu ni mo nka ne kore egusu akom na wo ka say Alan ni influencer adenti no mo na mabonten ekuko nkurase ye ko nkurase ni bi e wa Ashanti region so o Alan no ma ma obi a oni na woman na mkaka chenkofo say ma na ye say na nitirim ye ne den no ye say mesi obi a wo so won haw no ye den na you are fighting the cause ejusu ya batu ya ye tu ye nyina ye huye eniema omo ye 100,000 Ghana if musi ma ye niema ye hwe say wo ye niema ye you don't need to spend that much money you don't. But enam say anya nema ye you have to pay people. Every day say o can say the enti ominya 500. Ye to aba mobile 2016 na mobile no mo win by 1.5 if I'm correct. 2020 mo lose mo win by 500 and you are telling me say you are when mo ye data for mo nyam data. Mu data no mo kwa ne the two mo data ase me nti o mo just entron kwa me nti ase because ukodi so hwe na first wako no anya A na say waba no anya D na so pass ya it's your business me enko ho minim how wa dwen timi chiro self still what the be more me nti ase and no so
Because I'm against money and NDC, the way NDC is so sharp in money and mobile. It's almost as if say you will hold your mother. Money NDC for some kind of alliance. Is there some talks going on?
No.
Can you win in the face of NDC, which OBN himself is the biggest opposition party? That's what we all know.
It is.
Who the MPP forcing by NDC?
The person has say you need NDC ni alliance. Ye nyina na ye pre akonya no. So obi be catch us alliance bia ni he. Nipa nse o madaji no mu sika se enkoya alliance. Ye ni alliance bia ho. Akonya no ne ye pe presidency ni na we want. It is of no use of us the omo keka no. NDC for asem omo de ba ne say oyire ana o boyfriend na chiti also. Na say the na baba the probabilities of better cheating e high. Amagwo na edi kan no omo weye. Womo bay won besare. The probability we are talking about probability because you see our future things in influence are current. Enti edian na de na onimo odi gu kwa mu no. Want me afan gu kwa mu ase so about beye. Now let's look at things. Wabaye no was corruption there. Yeah. Obaye no onu so be ma a green book. Say why road me fie ewo your friends Kumasi honum. Green book na appear wo mo. Complex.
I feel from the capture
complex road from Kokoso e fa ho kosi yenche nyase. E wo book nim afia me sim futuro. Sa eso book no sa gazette. Eti no bi betena say why 11,000 euros na me nim da bi o me euros ifa. Still like people are complaining. Eduane makro so why euros. I don't know which some pretty no mo ye no. We don't know what is going on. It is almost very near. We are focusing on educating the people why they should vote for us. It is also a Ashanti region. I don't want to play politics of tribal, but it is key in our election. Yeah. Our tribal sentiment is high. Our election are yet to Ghana. No. Some people know if they are from this section of Ghana, they do not care whoever comes. As long as it is this particular party, they vote on that level. And I guess I'm a system here. Also using data. I'm also using data here. Yakoto aba e was through honum no. In nipa eduno almost stand day yes or moto aba for presidential candidate. Emma Bawood Baum, MPP no. Nipa 10 no. Northeast no. Oman to ba kukura who say ebia Alan no ho Kennedy ho.
Primaries, MPP primaries, no.
MPP primaries, no.
Then we get of this man to Amabawmia.
But there be Oman to Ama MPP, Nibia apart from Baumia. So it was 28/28. What that shows, and they say, yeah, dear money, it's year 2 year dear. Results.
To be a market.
Oh, nobody got one. It was 28/28. All going to Mawood Baumia. And see, you are almost from Mayeti said, and not Professor Milsikano. Adi will fear a.
Oh, yeah.
Aha. And see, yes, you're continent is all bet naha. Now, be catch them, me say. Alan, Onyashi was Ashanti region. Me pass out Mahama Baumia, Nature Martin, which is synonymous to Ashanti region. Kennedy grow warm company, I can't ask them. And you're not hacker or no crack as ask them no. Because your politics now, you know, tribal, religion. A key component of your politics, people's decision making. Because me.
Who said this time as Antiphonus to
media say what more money other one cases are line so book. But but we are the see a kind of say, yes, you ratchet Martin Bar. And Yama or dear Gupunuso, or person or ye, Edibois or minor, or say or bar. Or you see, on no crown, say you see on the ground, no, this NDC politics of division, they've been doing it. Or say or bar, young Cassa a MPP, any NDC, or be a onim nindia say fear, unim nindia wa dear bihu. Now what exhibit sad near the Mawa Konya Ubetimia ye now you have passion for it. You are ready for services no. Wo sa nipa krono. obeba na wabeboa oman because oman ni ye na etu mpon a ye nyina ye benefit.
Yeah, okay.
Owura Asarioti we was so a data man. Eba na the first January 7th. Owura Chamati kuta sikan nim na or swear to Ghana for. Da omase. Na woni expertise in data beboa. Ye be frɛ no. Edru ha onkasa wo ma wo obeba. Because Ghana ni.
Yo.
Oye Ghana ni a opesa ni man ni kurom kwan no at least through him no. Ebetima ni kurom kwan na entos no mudua no. Aba kwan so ameyet mi aton. Ana na me ni wanu simpese me busa say social security number now kind is it the same thing as TIN number? Because TIN number no
Different.
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 Different. It is what
ID number.
Yeah, more be under
social security. Not everybody is under social security.
Aha.
Mr. Sarah, you are Tobo money. What's the power to microphone, Mr. Right? Joining us.
Because people are learning.
Good evening. Auntie Abena Oba shows that me penny to tomb for no Casasa, not just
no, cry.
No, or kill me. Or Casafa or Burjuma lunch. Be a big fun. Serious fun. It's raising cat. Also, what's it was sitting near Massimo or cannon some it's to come on. Mr. Janice, I understand say how masra data man. There's all your data man graduate allergy by me and Ankas. Yeah, great cat. That's your bananka Alan the winning a chief of staff. Or the word you makama. Bibi Sandy. You need data, and then some more. Okay. So, yeah, may call a Massamson. I think say Ayana to be a MPP forum. To say the Mr. Janice Kohoyi. They like comparing apples to oranges. What's here? Yeah, national election, I said. And also now kind of Alan's numbers have been dropping, the trajectory. Just I said, I don't know. So I said, on also a data man, and numbers no on TSA. We are not talking about internal elections here. Alan, any internal elections no corner. So
we just not quoting now national elections.
No one has never contested in the national election. Alan has never contested in a national election.
But he mentioned MPP primaries.
And I make us all internal elections. We are talking about national elections. MPP, Osha MPP traditional. So Obi Enya Bediso as candidate, not only president. A very, very unlikely say o compete in a crowd Ubenya. And that is the issue with Alan and Nana Akufo-Addo. And to say, oh, Alan Akufo-Addo call internal elections. Now say Alan numbers drop out. When you say Alan, especially something like 2014, no names are there. Akufo-Addo yes, Ben will see you man and Wahram. The fact that he was contesting as a numbers drop on it doesn't mean say his popularity and I said on the national level has reduced. They'll also like to compare Alan Chamatin to Dr. Papa Kwesi. Dr. Papa Kwesi formed a political party. The sentiments and at that time, it's not the same sentiments the ones they say. They say so far Ghana 410. That's what be 6. So we are tired of MPP NDC. Alan Chamatin so on as independent candidate. Our person of form a government of national unity. This is what we are talking about. Again, if you compare Dr. Papa Kwesi to Alan Chamatin, Dr. Papa Kwesi came from CPP. CPP, na to aba, na ebia 3% kwa no omunyebi. Alan Chamatin is coming from a dominant party of the MPP. And within the MPP na Alan Chamatin no onye dominant keke o dominion ewo MPP. Debi Alan Kasim bi say MPP no wafiri no and no nkyere say MPP for grassroots na say MPP for omoto aba no omudwa Alan Chamatin no eye mpanyimfo no eni amoho some means the treat me can year. And I'm on the free party and said, baby, or more corner, or moon to me, Ghana and see baby was a Ghana see. And just my make say, Memma MPP for Make catch again men people before Nadam. So Kotoma Lanchamatic, or also Alan Chamatic in Yade, 1% cross Santa region. But the thing is, Ghana for ye individual votes are one, and you be kind and you be elected president. And the memo be met now mekanjo say Alan de Okotuma na Unya. And as Alan Okotuma na enyi. Bisa who says a man to ama Alan Ghana be ye. And no na also ojene some man to ama Alana Ghana bit my fan into my perfra. Say ye nim do be win elections now. I didn't say go in the elections. And I saw funny be prophesy and I'm who's the way winning and on 9 December na it's like yeah.
Prophecy in your book was wrong.
What there say your shadi. So into ye nyina ye baba ye beto no May December 7th ye jina ho ye nyina ye one vote no and ye beto ama oya elect to be as president. And so I say Alan ye independent candidate. Alan is not your ordinary independent candidate. It's like you've been in the system for a long time. The same people say independent candidates on my back in Ghana system. Why not be kind? You cannot compare Alan as an ordinary independent candidate. So if they sit there, and they are tackling themselves that we are coming by on December 7th. Is there fear? I mean,
Jude, Mamma, now I see baby. Jude, no, say, a December 7th. What was good evening?
Even if yeah.
I say,
Boko.
I may also.
Me Kankakrana, a analyst no body. Is it the MPP analyst?
Mr. Asari, yeah, Mr. Asari, MPP or MPP chairperson or DC.
Oh yeah, but why the service to statistics? All canina no, I say or rubbish. Almost all the independent candidates said they are not getting anywhere. Very laughable because data ban all these shows that they are not getting even one.
On my data, no, on my results. So far, the results they've made. And also nobody has been able to make 5%. Even 3%.
On my source of data. Data on your
when the Electoral Commission website, but this data is there.
No. It's a historical
projection. He was quoting previous results until this was Electoral Commission data. Not you. Obianwa, what to make it 3%. So he quoted the data.
Yeah, what quoted, but going forward, no, that is historical. It is a who predicted going into the future. Won't mean exact a margin.
But you can focus based on that. That's how we do forecast based on previous.
Focusing on the model. We're focusing on the model now, or the forecasting away. He has not shown that model. You have to show the model. Say, okay, from this historical data, and who project here, now forecast here, no. This is where it's going to land. One my model, one my margin of error BBI. Who can it track? And so who can it track? To me, find you, Juma. Anna, you call the other point and say, or say, or more impose parliamentary candidates on the instance. Say, or more solve it this time around. They did not impose. Now, yeah, Kaswa, or more impose presidential candidates now. Or more impose here, and no nema Alan Sufimu. Into no so much correct here now. Someone correct here there, and there is not going anywhere. Because in Crawford brain now party no more feel say Baumia was imposed on them. Into your monko survey and also. And no to someone to me solve it. So the everyone is what vote also. And Alan is going to do that. Now I agree with Abina, the Oka is correct. The system now is different from 2020 now. Kufado vote margin drop it by 500,000. Yeah, and this time it's going to drop again. So because of it, my party that vote now because candidates are very different. And yeah, Kufado pay Munanga Sakrano or drop it by 500,000. Now a new candidate, how are you going to patch all these who climb even to 1 million? You have to even go extra, and the dispensation is very different. It means who Baumia is going to patch that number.
How about when they tell you about areas of East, they will increase your vote just because Baumia comes from there? No, so I know so. There were seats like Bushegu, we need that, but they won for the first time. How about that argument too?
Internal election.
No. Parliamentary elections, any presidential, but until they were able to win Northeast. He had never won that region before.
Oh, no, is there a honor because as I know, baby, and I made one. Apart from that, there is no explain other factor except say baby, northern region. Apart from that, there's nothing you can say.
What about NDC? Yeah, NDC, especially with the manifesto launch, no. Because Mr. Say, as a mark copy, more double standards, okay. Because most free exercise, yeah, saying pay per need on need basis. What behind my back. But the NDC that is saying this, and then you manifesto also made free first year education.
Oh, and
then you said you're going to say MPP fund. Where are you going to get the money?
Oh, and I'm advocating that the policy so who budget. The Omunina two manifestos ever ban to say NDC and MPP. So Omunina ban I'm budgeting for those policies now. They've all failed again.
But do you support the idea to have first year for free education for all level 100 for no?
For first year, what about the second?
I don't count. I'm for level 100.
Oh, and I can't read the policy yet. I can't too much.
Okay.
Implementation. I don't know. They said Nanado Subayeno. So on also started first year for no. And progressively no. Or they cover second year and third years for no. Because by and one implementing it fully, one rolling it out fully. I don't know where the argument is coming from.
I think the argument here about the NDC was constant over the 8 years thing. Now, man can say Ghana pre-SHS boy a car. Yeah, review. I know the NDC has been very vociferous about it. Now, but you are more against free SHS and you are doing free university education.
Desperation.
A double standard. No.
If you are
free SHS, but it was the first year for.
If IMF Raka said the free SHS was poorly targeted. Omaka, it's a public declaration that the NTN.
I know it will not be poorly targeted.
Oh, SSC, I know, and because I don't want to talk into that much because me share and kind what that thing involves into me. I
think next week you better to us so that maybe you better know when you're kind. Okay.
My last point is science so for now are fake predictions no omunjai. Now Ghanaians are tired of them. We don't need any prophecies. Ni omukra no sorry collection no cry eswati. Until I saw more usual and more as a basis not to prophesy again because we are just sick and we some prophets or maybe dear dance say collection a SWAT and that is a justification for them to vote against the current government. Until prophecies need omunjai their bread. If you me that.
That's me, prophecy now. I support that. One is about your good evening.
Good evening, Sister Fia. And then what was one partner there? One man watching it.
So last week, no, so now one is so.
So I would see why wouldn't you know? So then the ON is a 1 year. But that says how fair you are. Until no matter what situation you find yourself, you are just accepted. And you cannot actually please everyone, no matter what you conduct your show. But let's say there was a video I came across and somebody was praising you very well. And I saw that. Praising you, say you make intellectual argument. But so I think say I side with you. But whatever the case, some of us are onto your program because of how sometimes.
I mean, I must say I'm very dedicated.
Mami, come ask. So first and foremost, I want to ask: free first year tuition, is it a promise or a goodie?
And one manifesto him to be a promise. We can say that's a promise, yeah.
Okay. And yet President Mahama a couple of months ago, Okojina Sebi it seems on promise this election. Now Nanado adi are yini nyina manaka dumpinti ono no oba on promise obi an osan hia onimu.
But when the election talk, okay,
no problem. Okay. Now word boss as a man okay, yeah. Okay, what you will be a master statistics. But also person also use the same argument need to defend or not say. It sometimes it's not just the statistics works. And some of us believe say the kind of presidential candidate NPP are presenting now. And it's just about this time a bit defeated all a statistical data, because we are looking at President Nanado when over 2008, there were a lot of baggage here. And that one, it worked effectively. At the same time, internal election, a constitution about 17 people, free NDC, contested, it worked against him. NPP could not reconcile a lot of people. No, free say, I affected within NPP. Even Alan Kura camp, we know of resigning, and it has a direct consequence on it. After Kennedy wrote a book, Chasing the Elephant to the Book, enumerated all factors. At that time, so people talk, say, President Kufuor did so well in his government, and as a result, the work speaks for itself. And think Kufuor crowd the BB bar, especially I remember that time I said current NDC's General Secretary Fifi Kote, I say setting the record straight. Almost the Niyama bar, NPP will not counter, and people will leave it. The propaganda no gain momentum so well.
That was by the time in 2012 and
yeah, 2008. 2008. Me they can't 17 analysis no more and they can't say why you can say Dr. Belmia is a different breed compared to what has gone on. 2008, the propaganda and NPP for stood aloof and allowed the propaganda to win, and it won the day. Especially Meba Metal Petro do. At the same time, Asako baby said your friends are so share. President Kufuor to go chain what they why your friend is saying.
I think the President Kufuor award more man
yeah, 50 cents. Those things went against President Kufuor then. Now, fast forward. President Kufuor needed to repackage himself. And on the bar 2008, 2016, and very fortunately, you win. But dynamics for 2008 election, now he was coming as a person what go to the mail and Kufuor ehuno. And now President Mahama has had the benefit of presidency, and the opposition leader and the president. And
that is 2016.
2016. 2020, and Nanado as a president said one thing to win the whole election argument. I say my for 4 years. Compare my record against President Mahama and use it as a yardstick to vote.
2024
good. Now, come fast forward to 2024. President Mahama is a former president. Former president on Timin campaign on what he came to do as president. On Timin campaign on any of election, achievement ya oba 2020. When you are President Kufuor campaign on President Kufuor achievement, na ye massive, no dwell on. Ye buy ye way one free beer. National health but me follow somebody attend me about political platform so there you mean about you won't say
I'm a campaigning on what he has done.
And the campaign out and then okay just about 2 days ago I say Nigri book no yen kohwem na yen hwe se de o ka so o matwere wo mu nyina o mo nye ya but meanwhile book no and sefa kan eba ni platform they went around by one and almost to me say ampa enema yenye. So now you turn runner now the cancer why what do you want people to believe you on? The reality is
road almost capture green book.
Yes, exactly. And 2016 let us also look at the caveat. NPP campaign on specific issues also about free SHS. Now it was a political slogan. It won the heart of many. And the same time, almost campaigning on you can say one yes. There were slogans here a winning year on this campaign. NDC had the opportunity to use 24-hour economy and woman messy up. Now they are not able to use it. And campaign political contest like we are going. Now we need a political slogan. It means that when you're prepared, ideally, when you're prepared, because all the time, when you're say, even use okay, to wrap up, President Kufuor government is, what we shouldn't forget is in all the difficulties when they talk about job creation, digital space, everything I can make a better he has added in excess of over $20 billion to the Ghana economy. And the Ghana economy, at the same time. 1 second, the economy.
Is it captured in the public debt or where?
No. I'm looking at the size of the economy. At the same time, NPP, the economy is expected.
Public debt. What would be the value?
There be
20 billion. You're public debt now. What can it be account from?
No, you are looking at the size of you are looking at the size of the economy.
Yes, the size. What is the cost? But you can't look at the size of the economy without assessing the cost.
Very fortunate, many economists. I met my that field, and when you lack that, say, I'm free, I would do a lot of research. But unfortunately, but what I'm trying to say is that size of the economy, increasing, and nothing is expected. Say the economy by the close of the year, about reach 1 trillion. And if that is that size of the economy, that means a lot of people are actually working. And there's a lot of things here. And what's here to capture those who are actually working. I ain't mean rich or Emma woman to your tax. Emma by Nina's cano. This is what we have to use.
Because that's what I'm saying. So there's always a cost to add. If you increase size, it means there was a cost involved in increasing the size. Because increasing the size of any economy does not magically come. There must be work. Work near and because we don't just mention the increase in size in vacuum. So Nana, good evening.
Yeah, Sister Fia,
do you know the answer to one in town question? I'm coming in our finance background.
I can provide some answers, yeah.
Okay.
But friends of Baumia USA chapter, it will be
the friends of the
Baumia USA chapter.
Okay.
And Beba Soda, Yabetra, the Echo. Sister Fia, yeah, Michelle Bobby phones in Mikrum. Baumia was there. Baumia was there this week. When Mobepem, Akosram in Crawford, and Mobepem for some more than us.
I'll call Chrome this week.
This week, no, our usual, no, our usual, Okupia usual, Eko Kuta, Eko and Mobepem, Eko Suhumun so Kakra. And he's on the ground. Ejumane or ground, so and yet social media and the job day grounds into or grounds and more pay for agent fair so papa de tune na ba or na say I think
that's Obia nam ground. Obia so nam ground. I'm nam ground. Nam ground.
I say media make up a beer about me you know or call me chrome TV chrome asem na make us this year into obi so person call no more kon make no so asem yeah sister Fia na me boy asem na branch ne kan say anything na issue or the same debt to GDP ratio because if the GDP are not grown now and I will share debt and before abebo account now and that ratio will be way higher, right? We say the debt to GDP ratio as of now, and I'm 70%, oh baby, right? Even though the debt
because of rebasing, so when you say I rebasing of the economy.
Yeah, but even before we compare to NDC tab now, we are still using that same. We haven't rebases the NDC tab.
Yeah, the old rebasing in the hypocritical.
No, NDC breast. So can send this baby fish no me rebasing. I don't think since I rebasing, I rebasing for baby. And you know, like I said, no, the debt has gone up. And the reason why we are still at 70% is because the denominator and the GDP has also gone up. So just by inference, that is how you're able to know that they've grown this economy. They've increased the size of the economy. It is not the same economy that they met when the debt was 70% GDP at the time of NDC. I mean, because and on top of Kano, so they've grown the GDP. So, I mean, just based on that numbers, it's indisputable. Sir. This economy, the size of this economy is way bigger than what they inherited. But the fact that the GDP goes up, it doesn't necessarily mean you are about to all sectors of or the saying your population. It depends on the distribution of GDP now generating, right? Was the distribution such that I mean the lower people now the poor are participating more in that GDP? Those are other analysis I'll wait later. Or was the growth in the GDP just coming from some few sectors? Yeah, most Ghanaians don't participate and they don't even earn income from those sectors that much. That's a different conversation for another day. You have to look at the data.
Another day, yeah. Especially oil and gas, but very few people are in that sector.
Exactly. Into those are sometimes what we call the distribution of wealth effects, can be different. And into that sometimes looking at these global numbers, you have to dig down a deep further and see where the impacts are and what is driving those. But like I said, in the economy, you can't about to I think, sir, I agree with what panelists on. Of course, every election cycle is going to be different. Election cycle be anyway the same necessarily. Because there are new players in here, they are based on. Of course, every election cycle there will be some things that are new, but generally, there's some baseline be a bit and also their projections. That is not to say you are saying that the projections will necessarily repeat themselves the same way, but it's a guideline, it's a framework that enables you to make your analysis. And Alan Chamante, media, I don't discount the fact I know, but I'm like. Alan Chamante stature in Ghana politics, Obi Kaso we ain't even found the Park Sindum Diana. Was Park Sindum not part of the MPP? He was also a minister in the MPP government, right? Okay, I know a minister for public sector reforms.
Yeah, before that he was even in charge of finance and economic planning.
Yes, and you Park Sindum was your friend Juma Ura, and wasn't the factor and any influence, and so near so when 1.5% was he in discount now. Now Obi no Nisa attribute, may exaggerate on the numbers based on what? And let the data play out. Say Alan so let him also go and let's see what data he generates in the 2024 election. Internet can be a very good yardstick if you want to compare Alan Chemani to anybody or other independent candidate. You can triangulate Pakwesindum data to get an assessment of how likely or the saying Alan Chemani will do. Though Alan Chemani comes with a slight different attribute in terms of the fact that he's coming from the MPP stronghold. That makes a difference on the amateur. But like I've always told you, as far as me are concerned, Ghana politics, I don't think people necessarily vote on personality. There's an element of that, but majority of people vote on party lines.
Personality is no countable.
Yeah, personality countable. Like I'm telling you, say who waiting now? Party lines, as the same. Personality,
Personality, okay.
Exactly. Trend there. You can most likely think, sir, most people in the Ashanti region will still vote on party lines. There are a few that will still vote on personality, but the weight of that, I don't know how it will play out. Let's see. The data will tell us everything in the 2024 election. But I'm excited about one thing in the election. At least if you are only media dance, we a political watcher, we a practitioner, we a student of politics, Ghana politics. You've also been in the trenches. You know what goes on. You see, sir, once we moved our debate from insult and minimize the insult and now to policy, you see that it's becoming more interesting, right? The parties are becoming more innovative in terms of how they engage the voters. And they are not just coming to them with anything, they are coming with them with their policies, their programs. And I think, sir, that is positive development for Ghana, for Ghana's or the democracy. And that is exactly what needs to be encouraged from both sides, both political parties, that the engagement must be on policies, must be on, how you intend to change the fortunes of people. And when we start adopting American-style campaigning, right, where they are bringing personalities that have benefited from their program onto their political platform stages to begin to showcase them to Ghana for to say, so based on this policy that I implemented when I was in the office, this particular person benefited from it, and I'm showing him as an example for the rest of. I think that kind of politics is progressive. I see in Eden, and the media must encourage that. Mamun discourages that process.
Yeah, to be encouraged. More put a plan that to me media any film. When it's convenient for everybody, no be able to come media. But I think next week we'll do the topic now. I will come once no. Why? We'll do that topic. More than good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Oh yeah.
Brother Adam, now so
Adam.
You're looking sparkling. Well, Miami Mammy Hawkwaba. Mini kind for Abasobodiama in about sister of nature. Said me a new voter and then maybe to a banker based on the submissions. Make us say, we're winning me how to vote for Alan Martin because Mitia or Nona Mitia and Pipinina almost said, Baku came to enlighten us, and the other one just came to make us feel say MPP for IBB. A pintimam into analysis now I want to start from where the previous caller Okasavi for a kind or said he finds it quite interesting why people do not want to accept to say that the park was better to Alan Chamatan. Why would you have to compare Parkwesi to Alan Chamatan in times of clouds? Alan Chamatan belongs to the NPP party, Alan or roots in the NPP. The difference are if you're moving on. Parkwesi was somebody I know party in a performance appointment and obey service performance. But Alan Chamatan is a man that is a founding member of the ruling party. Okay. So can't be base clout na Akufo-Addo munina on Alan Chamatan. So don't forget, say Alan Chamatan followed Akufo-Addo to every village. Internet Ghana ni bia ni Alan Chamatan either by face or by name. Enti untimi nka say what the Parkwesi a clout need to Alan Chamatan. And on a argument that you discuss. 2 Janice Beke can sing and a kakakra. Baumia policies or the Baku good for oil. Good for oil no. The fundamental basis about Baumia can convince Ghana for say or the Basa Baya, even when the crude price on the world market cost Ghana fuel prices okay. Ever since or the buy that been to fuel prices more Ghana because it is even rumored say the IMF deal and some won't be necessary. Exchange rate no cost will be as year to a fuel. So over time I can say sometimes I may person put a bit of respect on our intelligence. Just say kind of try again or making mention of blockchain. But Omiana ko walwalu could try and trust a blockchain on any first person on the African continent or deba. When Nigeria Fodica implemented on the 3rd of May 2023, the man lied through his teeth. Now, Baumia is also attempting something being so attempted that the NPP for Emmanuel looking like it is very easy for Baumia to win the election. Baumia is the first Muslim or person obey a president in Ghana, which NPP as a flag bearer. NPP has never elected a Muslim flag bearer before. This is the first time Omajai, a formula that has won them 4 elections. Atu was tribe because John Mahama can't say they want to prove John Mahama wrong. Baumia John Mahama. Formula I put the no formula and they say the NPP always elects an account person who is a Christian as the flag bearer, and then a Muslim, a Northerner, to partner, not to show disrespect to our northern and Muslim brothers. But election is about numbers. So where the numbers are, if Christians form 71 plus.
No, form like that.
Yeah, formula at least. And no, maybe if you are there, but maybe for their winning elections 4 times. Before the 2000, 2004, Ekufuado 2016, 2020. And it's a Uzi Wujaya no. Na John Mahama say NP before don't be used to Baumia damping it and into the Baumia Baya. Mahama Okanza. When last now who's NDC for the Asantini and a Christian, a Muslim, I am a flag bearer. A been see that. So Oko contest, Uno be Koko, no show opponent of Anebra. We also pursue proving the wrong work of Baumia. Baumia is not popular than John Mahama in the northern region. And sometimes Omo Kasati said, Abana Yakotono supporters need to demo at and I know election on the Papa to a mom. On the EC's record now, Obia 0-0 in the session. 2. Baumia the Intia, Emma Baumia very dice about me very Omukoyi Napo by on added to the table. Napo has added nothing because Debia Mibisa says Omunim say Napo as an Ashanti from the Ashanti region. Obetimi added BB to Baumia, the added no money flag and name on Ashanti region. Because Baumiano on one casan semi gunitrisna ye can young can you and Makako for Napoaba. Napo also has on one issues. Again, cracks within the NPP, even after selecting upon a cracks room, unless we don't want to be honest with ourselves. All my promise or more running mates, therefore, some are bitter. What's in Anu JFK as more can you say? Or call Bono Enclivono. There are many appointees are more relaxed, they are not even participating in the campaign. Where cracks in Libya. There are many others they are not showing said they are not going to vote for the NPP, even though they are appointees. But on the election day, the honor metric. Now for somebody to say, Alan Chamaten, I say, obey pulling 1% to Ashanti region. Funny.
Also, only 1% cry.
Almost I take a can say, beginning normal say only 2% cry. I feel over to say, Alan only 5% cry. Any election time. On Becca say, Alan I have 11%. And each passing day, Alan's percentage of the money it increases. Fair if you are young fast and being cast said, yet your Maya Baumia Nanado Jina simply said, this is the reason why he brought Baumia. What was the reason why Nanado brought him? Was it to come and fix the alien economy? Yes, I know kind. See the Naya hata and into the Baumia buy. And then when was the last time artists about Baumia Cassava economy? Nothing. And then Baumia did digitalization by Ghana because then we were university. First year, now for the e-banking about. Before brought e-banking. GC the e-bank. So Baumia has brought absolutely nothing. But they just always want to paint a picture on the screens of the voters' minds. I said, Baumia will be a strong called digitalization. Aba digitalization so nyadia as time evolves, and yet they are also be removed. And again,
send them number or private messages. And yet I'm going a whole city send them your number. Why? I remember Medoa so as knowing our full time waiting at us. Over there, good evening. Over there, so microphone, where do my microphone?
Good evening, if you are saying.
Tell me when you're now going.
Boko,
Mr. Jerry.
Mr. Jerry.
Mejosuke. Mr.
Jerry Matthew.
Business. I will be for UK.
And now I'll tell no fire.
Oh, David, Mr. Jerry, there's some.
I'll fire or train you, Mr.
And you are doing fantastic job if you are the boy Abasopa because Juma Oye no Nyamisem Nibia your friend journalism most of you know I say you do moderators like
Obi no see we know you're calling no
oh yeah the mammy cock a crab a monarch Becca and me Bonabaso I think you have to bring him. Because very knowledgeable. He's very knowledgeable.
Or a tribal bigot.
Well, tribal bigot. What to name a matter? Somebody to talk
Mr. Jerry Martin.
Because I fear near one kakra say, met me aka kakra be say. The reason why a Ghanaians ebu fu this particular administration, because they believe in them. Now, if we are saying, "Adia ba kwa ya pansa uji obi di no what disappoint you." Emeya say unyini ni no admi anya. Enfa ho because you already know say nipa utimi nye. But now Ghanaians have high hope ma MPP say yanya ajenkwa anasa ojifobi oba beji omanu. In other words, the commitment as the second coming of Kwame Nkrumah ties. Bomba didn't see. For economy, baby, a dollar rate I could do. Oko Boswa, yes, say party. Me and Bosso. It's only MPP, and among who say the number 4 is bigger than 16. And I keep saying this. If you are MPP itself as a government, and as a ruling administration, Oma Baumia the service. Why am I saying this? So if Akufo-Addo group, if they would have allowed Alan Tremartin to operate within the economic arena, and Baumia would not suffer and go through what he's doing right now. Because when it comes to economy, I fear you cannot compare Baumia to Alan. Obia the whole South Africa, independence for Nipa 7 pen Mandela, Alan was part of it. The history is there. At the age of 28 to 38, the whole world, near Penipa 100 future leaders, Alan Tremartin from Africa, Nidin Womubi. It is such a person in your middle of doom mind. Now you cannot say, Alan is not going to say he's bitter because no, because he don't see himself, so he fit in that group. You can't in your man in Asher. Sure, who can say, I don't know, be media to also economy now and a global crisis, which cry can be a baby. Who say cry? Who say we are seeing now? Why are then? See then how time back it could prove for the same music. Indeed, if everybody is suffering, why do you have to go and beg for money? Or also bread to cook then? You see, Nyamiama a resource. And Nyama de Braki Betima Shania yet. Now, a Janice can't send you data now. Mobile internet, or mobile 32%, and they've jumped into 73%. If I was wrong, I'm right.
Yeah.
Then besides, Obi, I feel let's do the maths here. Obi the 4 years, Emma 32. Now who did 8 years? Did just 43 pen about the Kanwa. Do the maths and divide.
Well, I think one can say 4 years because some mama so by the internet so Ghana dada. Because yes,
so what I say, if Mama they do comparison with Mama. Now that the person make and said that comparison is unnecessary because Ghana for say Mama did not perform. That's why they kick him out. And Yagna Jidiadu Akufo-Addo said, come and take over. The Messiah, Ghana or Sajifo, Akufo-Addo, if you may say, those days, here can say, hey, be a been confirmed a boost your Nibi Mrana Akufo-Addo near president. Maybe I would have done it. Because we have that belief in him. Nipano Obanosha in the background, the track record, Yama Wotimi, the utterances, the readiness of it, but it gives you hope. Say, I find you know be a man. If you are an say no. Etini baby I do say we should stop say. You better comparison mama and Akufo-Addo na who can say. Adeba ko ya omo kan timi se me kra ne say o Alan kra de kuma so obenya 1% na enya and I say he's going to make less than 1%. If you are SM say na wish say ka be stop no right there. Show my memo statistic be 2016 Mama Munya over 1 million votes. 2020, Mama was able to pick 2.5%, which is 25 million votes from Ashanti region. It is 25%. A banco, you're trying to say the whole Mama. I can't out of 75. That 75%, you know, and then Sada Womubi, Ala Womubi,
Trabusum Womubi.
Trabusum Womubi.
Thank
you. It will be catching me say we need to win massively. We are Ashanti region. Yeah, 85%. Just so I don't want to use the word here. It's not good on the platform. Yeah, it's my main pharmacy. Say no. Argentina, but me sorry, or say Oba, not bind the Oba by abolishing Yema Bibra Kufuado yeah amwa. And I find it very interesting because you are already part of the government. It's say also me by abolish it. It's very difficult to understand what it means because Yema be won't be under your nose and you're passing into law nearby. Who can who be you sit in cabinet? And I say no. Also, Baby, if you want now, me saying, yeah, and I'm a coup for
now, Baby, if you over
just one, Abna making good point to be a person me building on it. Also, Mama, and more buy and Oma Nyade, right now, a Kufuado. And then Uba me and then say Sanka will be about show previous government what campaign about the project and in the new more year na ujinaso. And you man also a Kufuado year and who say Uba the say no. It's right now what is your basic policy out there?
Okay.
That's what all my but just idea. Alan has a plan. And Alan Kwajochemati will pull it or be pull surprise.
Mr. Jerry Becker, guy knows how stop tribal.
On your tribe, how they make you point?
No, Stefia, Ghana, no. Stefia, I'm coming. Stefia, Ghana, no, yen dia. Ghana, no, yen dia. Sabe, ufri north, ufri voter, ufri ultimate Ghana president. So I say, and your parties, no, your political parties, no, any party be a chance way a Santi4 party. And all the time, no, sa Santini ne di enim.
One can it now cast a plan.
Or say idea what President Kufuor Santini obedi na nado aba kan you abedi adana yakofa Baumia free north. Okay, it's the guy is tribal.
There's a plan in the party.
Which plan? Which plan? To apply says yen anu sabi esremu form to my yen so omuni chance woman. Oh, this that tina Omudi Alan Chamatin Chino, minim Omunkwa, Omu adwene a ewo omutrim because Alan Chamatin nyanintino just say enisa obia bedi obiaba Alan nkwa oyehwan Alan oyehwan Alan dia na Alan ayama Ghana na asantifo ade pa na Alan ababe ade different ben pa na wababe sabi abatro na stefia ye koye Ena obia ye campaign, right? Ena wakoye campaign na we win. No obia win. No obia win actually nipa ni free hand internet ehia se nipa no bedi eyi nanimu ana. Aya omunya sa de na omukika no. Sa na eyi abna be kan say North East omunyina ato abane ma Dr. Mohammed Baumia. North East omuto abane ma Dr. Mohammed Baumia. Ala no for Ashanti region. Ala nso gina be na Ashanti for na to ama no. As was Ashanti, so your son to man, Nipana, Dr. Baumia, Ashanti for Ottoman. I don't know, Alan Yansian Traman. The analysis be or Hayana Bogos, a moment mecha, some analysis be. Steph Yana or Casafa Rose now, or call Ghana Rose named me, and Steph look. Ghana a Rose, no MPP banana, a road network, not send an AI. Steph maybe south. MPP banner na send an
but there was a number. Maybe as a select committee. There be State of the Nation address. They give us that data. So
fine, okay. Yeah, but uni number. They say MPP send almost to the ababe count. Steph, 11,000. NDC and John Mahama Professor Amos 4,000. MPP so my 11,000. But Steph, yeah, na was who kept so chroma kwan. But also the show. Also the show to say abani ba ontimi nye Ghana kwan ni nyina oba en be
brag ye
yeah brag but I am not we are not bragging instead we are not bragging esa me no udi echi but we are not bragging but I am press abani ba onye kwan ni bia na ekwan be braban na ye
respected of every government we are not
thank
we are
you
bragging right
but expected no baby abani be fa free ye no san ono so di aba be kan wo no na ye hye NDC 44,000 ebe kan almost 8 years MPP the 8 years 11,000 ebe kan
argument they said there's inflation and food inflation is partly because of transport costs among
yes it's all but abana be bi ontimi nye ni nyina no tire na me no na na Akufo-Addo dan kwan Dr. Bawumia omunyansamu no omunimdie mu no omunyansamu ni adwepa mu no omude drip abana ya to machines here they call district bia no machines abana to no so you are wrong they be akasa fie be ko fie my 4 years na so
now 4 years injury time na mo we obeni
don't tell me injury time just say it's abana ya she be akasa my 4 years
I'll still out 4 years
because my 4 years is so here and so even man pay ade aba chairman akokra na o person your appointment are still obey because John Mahama obekono oye be the same thing until the obi ankasa ne time aso na oya appointment and the France am 4 years no 4 years no there yet 3 year bibia no na ya
last minute injury time no ye
obi anka hwe because John Mahama ye bi obi anka enti omunya
ada ore fi uni Ghana na maka
ade no ye ya okan John Mahama control ogo machine Stefia John Mahama go farm machines onyanya sasabi onyadwe bi go farm machines ni bi ba ba chiche say ya fanya kwan drip na dey aba ho asem na make na wo say
bra na you wo honom ayarga ayarga machines so mo dey buy for agric sector modernization
machines president before kono the machines ni buy na be do NDC for same and omo chafa ni na ni ba nya no asem na make Stefia me see drip and ya dey aba say ya kwan no ya fa me ye ntia no so ya dey a omanpanyin aban otisuero monya adwen say ya kwan no so ye ntia no so count ye be ya manuane a dey ebu ba ekro be na say omo enuane efo America amu we enuane bo ayeden UK ha ye we enuane bo ayeden
compare mo to American party
ya da compare because ye na ye nipa enti baby Stefia to be frank baby aboard baby ayeden Mr. Jerry can say me ba America by no cry ye na Stefia heat no ye na ye feel heat ni bi ye na ye feel heat because ye niam ye Ghana ye ndwuma ye Ghana ni ade ni na no ye feel heat ye ni made ekoso ewiase nti Stefia o ka bi say GPS Stefia o ka bi say GPS wo hodada na address system by but Stefia GPS different from address system Stefia GPS different from address system Stefia Omanpanyin Rollins wo ho no Omanpanyin Kufo ho no Accra na ye o baby a na o friend Kojo Thompson Road ana meboa Kumasi so na ye o baby say Harper Road ana na ni ho na o bo GPS o de ehema GPS no e de o ba ko si sa road no so meboa eno na efie ben na wo kom address system no generate maybe address system no generate
generate coordinates
generated but address system is different and also address system
is different but there was already GPS that could take us anywhere
GPS no and open cancel any ho na wo but address system is different so me the roads na your example am say o man paying Rollins time near roads for that your roads names are ba eruba ko si road ni so ba efie be na wo kom eno is different from this.
Okay.
What boss be can say bi na mami last year be can say me ya obetimi alecha me 24-hour economy. O ba na msa ko ba be kan ho asem. Onim lecture o former okuje to adra kwa mo. No mo for 24 hours no okuje to adra kwa ye bisa 24 hours a o se o mo ebesisi airport o region bia no o former okuje to adra kwa. Miami nua Dr. Atana Madam for Parno obeka say omo banyan muwa no You have to offer 24 hours. Man, I am making it. You come in, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm say, there be a young people for no toda a mistake be. So we to me, you say, Alan, a dear no obey. Simon, you say, Baumia, so tell about me obey. You may dear about me by and you know obey. Not just say, Pacho, one a communication minister. And I say, do offer mine. Esla, hey. And he say, or say ye lady, because Esla and Juma in a Juma. Say Juma or Esla, and about me and one also on way there. And in Esla, to one was be in news or say in because and yet about me and the Juma no. But me or Juma, I do buy say, but my economy, because no economy, nice city, I had and I do buy. They say, what by Esla, Juma, yeah, and Esla, or 2 wedding. It is so package Esla, the best Esla, near you be on a wrong. Anna say ike ebe kasa obi ye tribalism. Why na sha ase ye kwa campaign no MPP for mpanyimfo timi ko gina ba bi ka say yentuma efe say obi ofisirim onu na o se yetuma no omo di sasem we edi ye campaign ye kan nti no why na start tribalism no asema be kan ye no ono kwa o kire say efiri yesu si efiri 92 ye start about we efiri edubo ahenso na ba ye mfa not na bia emedi aida da bia sa kan ni edi ne ba asa na edi ye advice ntia ene sen ka ada region no so be ka say omo so
I don't feel very insensitive because number one me ya journalist all these years me who say MPP for plan be as a chinchina omo dey akani na be candidate vote. So I think that's where what was coming from.
Yeah, but in this one, no say any plan here tribalism because you free it in him or my MP before Domba. I can't phone a
I think that's
any plan, but you're too about still I can't phone an ever. But I'm say agenda MPP NDC setting my two say MP before the omu use a year no ma Adam Pono. Saying can I show central region for you be that a gang for you be that. I'm going to ebe complain. Kwa the vice kwa the omunya bi da MPP nyi aka Ghanaian vice da ye vice da but wom so nya we enti so be ka bibi sa na lande na ala ba ya ni so ombeki sa kan wa de so ka sa ni so ka sa ba me so me ye hwe because ba me na de be si wo say omemma economy ni no wa be say no kura ana nipa na o campaign wo na dwuma o de be ye so no say Oba no adwuma onipa na be na wugina so dia campaign is there so ba ade about na na do ayi bia no ubetwam enti say dey be campaign na wodi be gina so dia be enipa na wodi na yi be no wo se na dey yo nyina ro ba wetwam me ba metwa we onam na ntronko a ba o me de oye the biggest liar because we be gina bia na se mo ka bia ntronko an wotwa
I think that's what we are cannot say
Paul 2020 or Kaswaye 2020 and tro Paul 2020 ye interview no
yeah obekedia into okasi from about me another intro
there be yan person need no abo na dia be waka anu be waka bia no enim 2020 uku gina producer ye interview ma uka say Paul Guda waye na mo sabe ka safa na mokoye na eno na nyantro kakraka yantro kase pa no kwa bo sanka nipa kura hu se da bi ba me nka no kure ense be bi o be jiro ka bia mba me no promise na mba me say ana me ba mema phone ana one city two city ase wuru ni ade bia ya no mfi say still an Ghana for da so adwene nkwala adwene na ya na me menti ase ana bo ho mo ka mo hu se nipa enyini nipa Ghana for nditi na mo nyini o ma dwe mu bie nti ase mbo ho ni so wo beka esa na se de udi nkrofo na tem udi atemaka se yenwene
okay
enti no omo de policy papa ba omo famra no mu ensembo ha no so beka afia me da se
yo miss me da so penny kase bye ma good evening
good evening that's say
adum pato brother side kakana eni mayira David
yeah Okay. Na metie sister no ana owo Alan. I think it's a NDC for so one weapon pan Alan said they can bring MPP vote down. Okay. There na or farming no near the I think say Ghana problem be na yewa. And you say editing because sometimes last na me madam for back editing come fa yen sa sia akodi baby nkete abusuan nkete. For example, me ma me say na na sa sia no one is not up to be 20 acres. Yen am nipa 7. Na no say onu no onyini and I say bia ochicha ma yan. On say enti say ensase ne kwaye nkete sa a big problem. For example, so hwe okọ South Africa many countries no me farmers na ma aduane abuna. On say individual no me massive kind of say farming. And I say government in support to more maybe nipa be 50 or nipa be 50 on register because of say omo scale of omo ye no. Omo betimi enya return dey aba. But yeah this so the ma ebi nipa so the money nipa be say 200 500 obo okra obegis kan okra no problem na owo no adwuma gwa so de ye na ontimi fanye nti eno no a big problem and eno so nkyere say intimi fa policy bi abetimi ba abeboa ama oman no anya aduane aha but me can the side of challenges be so a ewo eho no na last na me madam ba ko so edin komo efa koko na omu twade galamsey no omu kire say galamsey for no omu timbe pumping so good e kan say fa koko num but na koko na say ewu enti ba say awu farmer no you have no choice say otoma wo mu enti emu woni ma ni me do on ma
moya monitoring na president before time no moya monitor more gangs spraying gangs so mu spray ni ade so those things if you know say foreseeable you can prevent it.
Yeah, because sa ne ma we say omutimi e kan no ma government ne hu ne ma eko or e kan say underground omutimi eboa ma sa ne ma omutimi solve sa ne ma ni nyina because aduane dey say the sister ne kan no he had a point because one to me an idea you can't even think for yourself so aduane no eboa say dey ba omi kan ne ma nyina no e ade a yen yeti ase no we understand it. So in baby or person do money ko but say comes to be so a because bia na o say ska okuma say o say yade ye o so comes so ya pa it is come de wa utimi say untimi nwini ye enti o man no say the na sister ne kan no say aban no mum etimi eboa na o mhwe kwan be fa so a ebitimi aboa farmers no na I don't think say bia Ghana say you want such a kese did our big farmers. Big sans in be ho.
Yeah, you baby ho. Ukono no western region as baby did that. But
okay, say
the state farms. Ghana ni yeni bi increment free so you state farms. I think that's where your problem no. But also supporting it have not yet a great and industry any year the boy roads.
Yeah. It's very good. They say I might be a baby no. Omuma because they come there. Come where so
okay. I mean baby right man. Other Paco, good evening. Pacho, so microphone yeah. Pacho
good evening to them.
Good evening, Pacho.
And say I'm my chocolate background of where Shonka
I am my feel.
What actually you saying?
Because Sam send my mattresses here, Pocho.
Actually so that I don't forget. I sent a message on LinkedIn or something like that. That is
on LinkedIn, okay, no. But how do you know the same thing on LinkedIn?
My name is Edward.
Okay, Edward.
I'll make text them. Yeah, okay. Well, friend, two quick things. I really appreciate Lady Norbert. She really sounds very, very knowledgeable. And then I catch him there, hopes and snow. No, I'm
men.
Now I mono paying it. There's come hopes.
No, the money. Yeah, my colleague is
yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, see, there. The lady really spoke very well. If I had my way, I'll probably get closer. I see day and as day goes by, we are getting things clearer. And MPP man or US in Bekan. Then now it's about issue based. Now me pay issue based or issue based. I don't think MPP have anything. They have no excuse because they've actually failed the Ghanaians, and you attest to that fact. MPP guy not bad or make a comments to be. Those are the things I really want to dwell on. And there was a short-term vision for car manufacturing. No problem. No question. I'm wondering there. Which problem did that car manufacturing solve? How many cars have been manufactured in Ghana? How many people have been employed? Remember this question when I ask you banter. I know, but I'll always ask that those things there, they are not manufacturing plants. Okay, those are every day be an market. You see, in as much as you want to come out with a policy, in as much as you want people to believe what you are doing, in as much as you want to explain yourself to people, don't actually sell ideas which doesn't exist. Don't tell me you're giving me a spoon when you're giving me a ladder. That is the thing. So don't tell me that you bought a manufacturer, an assembling plant when what you have there is just a workshop. That is the fact. Let's get the difference between the two. What for K? What about?
Volkswagen, the plants they have is different from what we have in Ghana.
No, you see, I am a daughter one because I am the dynamic channel. You've actually gone to verify. It shows that you're a good person, you're a good journalist, or you know your stuff. So you want to do it. So I'm a man could say I'm a king, and it will be unverified. I'll be academia politics. But honestly speaking, those things that they have there, fine.
Yeah, it's not.
Don't let us say those are manufacturing plants because as far as I'm concerned, it has not even employed even up to 1,000 people. Not even 100. So you've not solved anything. A bizarre question be you've been talking about NDC manifesto. Which one are you talking about?
And there was a new launch in there.
No, the one that you saw was the one that you saw or you heard about is the youth manifesto.
Vision. What the document the first one was Mohammed's vision. That's different from the manifesto, but there are two documents.
A vision is different from a manifesto, and even at that level, a manifesto, the one that they launched today is strictly for the youth. Strictly for the youth manifesto. As I say, and somebody came to ask about free, free university. It is not free. Nobody mentioned any free university education.
First level 100.
First level 100, because there is always the rush. Obi we secondary school, another Obi university first year. Now people have to run here and there. What turn has it? So in order to take up that burden of the parents, first year is free for you. After first year, there is an improved student loan scheme or a bar. Improved. Listen to the word. The word is improved.
Because we already have a student loan scheme.
That's it. Communication bar. People don't listen. Because they want to twist things in tea. They want to say things. The person was actually insulting me, but that's okay. What is my business talking about? Free SHS. So the era of promises will be promised about free university. Nobody's mentioning free university. The document says that first year.
Level 100.
And finally. But even though you can, but we're friend of a key. Meaning go for croy. Say 24-hour economy so of a on tasa mama man kasa miswigi wo CB miswigi with 7 years and I'm being very honest yonya obeshe mutuma mo achechi mu You don't need rocket science, so if you
I
are.
think Wapake is not speaking for himself. I think generally, if
Who
you
is
compare,
speaking
Uncle Paco, if you compare how MPP for one time no work free SHS, how they were able to market it to 24-hour economy now, and away now, and this is the new day. You see,
Okay.
so I think the point is marketers so that to be saturated in the minds of every voter.
If
What
you are,
friends they can explain.
if you are,
So
if you are,
don't listen to what he said. But I think that's the input I got from what he said.
what he's saying, or a deliberate. It is a deliberate attempt to run it down. Just as Obikade,
And you think that you have marketed, NDC has been able to market 24-hour in a year.
If you are, the policy document is not even out. It was a snippet of it. Or today, my was it, no more document. No more summary. When I give you the summary, you will not understand until I come to explain to you. Well, I'm trying to explain the summary to you.
For
A policy,
election, when will they explain it fully?
The manifesto is yet to be launched. We launched a youth manifesto today. There's a possibility that maybe in the coming days they'll go and launch the manifesto itself, and then the policy document will come out. You have the opportunity to read it. Do you get it? Or you're deliberate. Okay? We all want the benefit.
I mean, as a journalist, the advice is 4 months to election is a little too late to explain a policy. If this is supposed to be a flagship project, by now, everyone put the book and recite it.
If you
It's
see,
just a friendly it has to be done.
Mama Casimiro, you see, we want to go past the era whereby we are talking about sloganeering. 24-hour economy, it's a policy. It could be a flagship. It could be maybe a part of a flagship, a whole flagship program. When we wait till the entire manifesto is rolled out, then you know whether it's a flagship or it's a. Mom can check and say, did you know about the first year free education for the first year for free university?
Yeah,
Did you
I
know
knew
until
about
today?
it because in the initial concept was to make a university tertiary education free, and then NDC revised it. So I knew about it.
That is so. For all you know, this 24-hour economy, what they are trying to bash it. You know, trouble as a whole presidential candidate is trouble around 24 hours. For you know, when the manifesto comes out, then you have a clear understanding of it. Then you run with it.
Yo, Uncle Bob, yo, that's it. Yo, Braless, good evening.
Good evening, madam. Let's say.
At the most, we are not sure the Texas for because I want the
or can't 24-hour economies in the network in India. It's all 24-hour economy now network in India.
And yes, America or no, I'm so UK will say BBS Antino. I'm saying UK for no network.
No, only UK. The network in India. NDC
only Ghana, Pacho.
On to data. NDC for now to data man no.
Oh, not
a cheap one now, man.
Oh, Debbie. I'm going to be our Wi-Fi when you
know. Oh. No, parties in our sponsor Mudo Mako school.
Debbie. Well, I brought you one there. Money, my brother, you'll be a
what do I mean? Can you tell me by? A lot of people were talking about vision. All the political leaders know be our vision, but vision without implementation, always visionless. All these leaders, show me you more my Mahama Oba how many years? Only Mills Juma 4 years, and I'll be a president. Oba a president 6 years, right? And all this vision now when to me implement it, yes, I'm Mambra. Baumia, what di Akufuado achi? Akufuado said brand buano. Now economy challenges are facing. Bois, no to me solve it. And who ideas be one of my one farm boy leader no. I'm an anya day. Ain't me I implementing the vision no. What baby say be and what basso now be a leader into young to a banner for man and fanya day. Young for man be lead Ghana. Or a visionary leader or a missionary leader. He's coming with an agenda. or barber cover the paymasters in the top. And you're not Ghana for Ghana for people with ideas. People with ideas like Alan Chematia or vision are what you may implement here. A lot of the visions now. Or no one has had transnational draft in the manifesto. Sorry, the GTP. What you say? Alan Chematia can't say, man, I did you over Cambiano or yeah. Can't you about Alan Chematia can't went to manage. So the vision no never boa Ghana or boa may implement it. Shankofo ebra abo mama business owners. Vim lady so the wa woni making. Enti Ghana na ye pese e build no, ye pese e build Ghana obia be involved. Vim lady ideas how the ba ye dey aba on board. Ye debate on it, ye be boa Ghana, ye implement it. Ghana for nyina be benefit from it. Enti we call the GTP nim na the GTP na bibia o ka bia no obetimi implement it because all the Ghana for nyina na e be dey. Eba be ye adwuma enti se obi ti abrochire o nyansa na oni MPP a enti yentimi ne nya adwuma na they will just come here talk about political parties we na we be ye we na we yentimi anye we nya sa na Ghana enye na Ghana se ye hwehwe o ye pe obi a obeboa ma Ghana akọ nanim a unified leader how betimi unify obi a ama Ghana akọ nanim tribalism we free ha na we free and no na mboa Ghana. Just I say your politics or Ghana.
Okay.
I was saying I can boom, yet me build a Ghana na ye pen. And then you say, Mamma lunch the Matimba.
Okay.
So lunch the Matimba, no be dig Ghana anymore, or be kind in I boom, or be fro, or do kakraba, or the ideas we have. And on that, I lunch the Matin GTP no. And this you come and who took a crown or their question idiom. MPP come and who took a crown, and I'm better say, but me and I'm no say, or bet pot no, or better so, or no. Standard BB na maza on canocre. Won't me implement it. The economy sector amount say, Branabe went me excuses on Kwana away day. Oma, and I'm running mate in our union so arrogant of power and tino. I must what is on a man. Why could you murray? And what the name? Ghana for moment in the Honamun ye. And when you leader, obey my unify with beer, and they did the attempt near Cambum. Because and talk about Brazil countries have been paying in and there's a Ghana for her. We sorry, and this is sorry. I was some man Tiasia may win election. We are the basic MPP funds say, Mama peace na one a whom here. Until I said a dead leader obey to my unify and what Ghana couldn't mean beer. You didn't be
I'm hey, would you have my do the separate? I send a message now. Dr. Ryan, good evening. Hello, Doc.
Good evening. That is saying.
Oh, one demonstration I call saying, who to me who pictures me.
Yeah, echo kama.
Okay.
Now, Omukra no friend saying.
To me, Baba J. A copy of your petition.
Omwanga so more high commission crown Omukra many aji because so who says this may be a corner is you know asay pa ntino Omukra no kase ebeyanka Ghana police for no form who Jim. Now we'll make sure some support to our buying and our buying, so I'm making sure say or better you know any art. Not only that, it's almost so many licenses are almost pretty a friend saying forest no almost at 200. I think His Excellency Babu so come out something. Yeah, the main focus was Galamsey. Yes, the main focus was Galamsey. If yeah. Na efia metietie nsɛm ni bia na wohwɛ mu a utimi hu sɛ ɔman Ghana no ne gisa CCA yɛkɔ 2024 election mu no na wo make point bi sɛ the 24-hour economy na me sɛ NDC fo ntimi nkyerɛkyerɛ mu ma ne mfa te sɛ deɛ Akufo-Addo deɛ no fae no, and I think say it's because I say wohwɛ NDC campaign no I say they are all over the place. And I think say so moshena omutimi streamline na bi ompiki be ni enema mienu bi na omu focus on it na oma Ghana eto Ghana for asum. I say ahopepre na say yenkan we I see they are all over tiene obetia na say first year student ye be ma omo loan ABC enye loan ABC de becha omuti. I think say so we are more focused. 2024 is for them to win. Omo we need the is Omara. Because when we need the other just as Omara. Now, if you ever MPP Muswa, one of the things I mean said Dr. Muhammad Bamiya Yene said, "O share a year campaign a war year. Campaign no MPP for no strategy no kind if you are empowered. Hey, wo fa ba wo miane campaign on no ya o ya regional tour no a. Na ne wife no so community tour. Na MPP for no so e ho no so no a friend is saying he said they want to be bidding say street by street tour as there. Omo ne nem no church nuane anajo ehwehwe ehwe nkofo eboabo nkofo anajo. Na if your strategy ni na so free landing here ya MPP for na wo landing no a.
Omo ba landing ho no.
Wo mo ba landing no ababaji aponi nyina na o masa de MPP for no e wo landing here no o mo so no edo MPP no o mo so abeti o mo wesi krom and you see yes evia na unimi bi Ghana for no so a wo mo ye MPP for no mo so British Army no a bi mo so aba retirement no mo so de o mo wagim no mo so bo MPP o it wo mo so strategy o mo ye ne say wo mo so ne nam no mo so a friend is saying free screening help screening ewo nkrasi to omo screening wa wo mo kira wo yare no mo bo no mo advise you no mo san so cancel say 2024 election kotuma ba obi a enti strategy
doing about it
NDC no ni accept no NDC akwegina say you for your manifesto na ba omi my friend say president Mahama tewo na so tewo enso central region for so hiamo Ubako voter region, Amanfo so said the NPP no ya more popular and NDC ni unpopular. Edian na womu ye
chatu. What you do analysis or about the NPP vote trajectory in our voter region is increasing. It's increasing.
Yeah.
Increasing.
Yeah.
Oh, and voter you have to be brave. They say NDC abandon. They are not even addressing that issue because they say NDC national executive who you people quit who. One votarian so do say na wo mu.
Na if you
encremofono ba o mi say mo.
If you are who say enka normally no enka Ghana ni ko to aba nko bega say me de be pa de me nya me sound religious but nko bega say me nto man kramoni but then no ba o mi na ye popular ma sisi e kra man pom nim so ye kramoni it will break that ceiling no. And this is a new what they call in and say, hey, media kufu out the mistakes be or no, na men penishment come. Et your mamma fan touch me. Also, my ass, Sally, and also I'm a sissy Ghana what you have to say, and never will be a. If you ever see the BM saying, Kamekas and Candice for the Kausha program as a combat national common picking notes. There be was I make what Canada da. One Canada that repeat here. But my cousin,
I say, I'm not Shamima Muslim because me, Shamima, say me, no. Many Shamima so many times about even doing mainstream media or some pet. So me who's that? Because you see, in NBC national executive pictures in the more outlook, Cremoni be any. And I say, Mokofa who do ya, Mokofa, Cremofa. Because Bamia is winning all the Muslims. Animate and Bamia even before animate as some crabem no. And I can why be and who to Christians because the national executives one campaign team no dambo to your presby catkis or your penny the bush you have one in your presby a Pentecost this our man but Aquana to no boy a strategy. You cannot sleep. You must counter. And to me, yes, I think you know that it's a cover Shamim and I'm talking my idea. But in Islam, there's a position where they put women and there's a position where they put men. You must neutralize that. And also your homework. They must do it.
If you been Bambe come bring me by say Jamie Baba that was in age my power na koswa na eja me monitor or a year and check. Never man for your chairman say
one man way that I'm saying when I was here 2 million as full a program. Why?
You now I could do chairman this or the idea be but I mean waji ajinche ewo nioma bibre when one of the things that we propose man here a constituency a job centers because my guy say papa untimi beka say mo be man adwuma abra muntimi en collect data or constituency en create offices and go betimi akwa akotro mu din na wo mo skills ene wo mo CV wo no de atodwa na say mo penkofo amafa mo constituency wonti no constituency job yes centers no very very important. The man Ghana ni na call say me pe adwuma me nya adwuma na mo me carpenter, me mason, me lawyer, me banker, me skills are me woni nti say mo hia nkofo a mo on the data already, then you call upon na eja etimi aboa. And intimate sure say this particular but my just MPP for information almost offer it one radio manifesto to constituency job center.
Give me somewhat a duplication. Go see a labor office or
labor office, yes. Labor office, yes.
No more labor office. If they can build on that and maybe
very good
do an online version of the labor office and an in-person labor office where people can go. It's easy to some approach or to collect information. How many people in this neighborhood are unemployed?
Exactly.
How many people are employed? Which categories of employment are they? Almost income bracket, you're saying.
Yes,
you can distribute your friends at least resources accordingly. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Efia.
Why next week we can do a full show on one man demonstration. Why?
I'll show you. Thank you.
Good evening. Yeah, to catch you. I don't too quiet.
Devi me share you ke had the no mas one shake a cranty.
Okay.
Na eja me ye 1-2 bi.
Okay.
Boko de.
Aje di we. Hello, brother. You can find person mutina o data no so ho.
If you want to make a.
Me ti on kapa.
Easy. Yeah, all right. She went on business Brazil. Afro barometer, omo survey na. Variables been there omo kase voters every party to about Ghana. So be kaya.
Some governance. The last one there me kaya.
First.
Governance, economy, rule of law. Ni nyina ka ho. I think the last one unemployment was also on the top 5.
Meaning say first a year mota voters reply corruption. So be kaya.
Let me check the last one. About the battle, go ahead. May you share last
meaning say first a year the voters look out for is the fight against corruption. So be kaya. Second, I think second is it governance or economy? And as a second economy. Yes. It will have voters now. The empire no show the twaba. Ushema policy. Policy cry. Yeah, encounter. So how funny Ghanaian voters are. Normally, they base on corruption. How you fight corruption, economy, and governance. Inti me say bi mo ye na policy we na what the policy we aba na no na ebe hwa to aba ya na mesre because Tamano, yeah, Omoto Mahama in 2016, it was based on corruption. It wasn't based on economy. If you can remember. And right now, MPP, the problem with MPP now is corruption and economy. It's not about policy. And I say Ghana for no to Obama or share the button first. We are somewhat corruption. It's all about the policy. Intimate sometimes the people you cry nice policy into a bit to about my I just laugh. Because Ghana no PBB will be dear the PBB idea will say policy. So we need to MPP and this year, I think they need to situate their priorities right. First, MPP is in disadvantage because almost 8 years they failed totally. And Mahama is being given and NDC is being given a second chance because Muslim Home are corrupt. Oba and when they fighting corruption. Wasn't an economy yet. Also by our economy when right now they are going head to head. And an unfortunate aspect of it is it didn't know who will be MPP for more than can Japan because he will come and fight against corruption. That's it. It's not about economy over there. In the Ghana voters, and most of them they have this notion say if we're able to fight corruption, Ghana can be well. Ghana can get money and the economy will be good. It's not about the free SHS, it's not about the free university in the moment. They want the economy to be good. They can buy their own food, they can pay their own kids' school fees, they can enjoy the economy. That's the most important thing. It's our mentality where you use a policy, but no. First, Ghanaians they look out for corruption, how you deal with corruption, and two, as an economy, and son about governance, and son fourth, and a tribalism card and also play. No, Mukasa and Chematin to me, Polivos, Ashanti region, I was just laughing. MPP for some of that, Yamia Sisal and Uncle and the colors, no blue and answer white. Come because Yama in an arm no more will be a journey, and you know, no head ballot people know who say Alan or her. Now, drink Quabe and say, Alan, you know, MPP, no, but it's
The other person be on by even choosing a neutral color.
They say, Alan, you know, yellow, no, at least they will be confused. And yes, and Alan, you know, white and now blue. Many MPP color no say now, Alan or ballot paper, no, so they might think, Alan, when is Alan the MPP? They will go and vote for them. They will go and vote for Alan. It is hard to know more say, oh, Alan, they need vote to Ashanti. I just laugh at them. There are some Ashantis, so tribal thing in politics and it works. There are some Ashantis that don't vote for NDC. They are bitter with MPP. What they did to Alan, they will go and vote for Alan. Ubu are abanon to. Ubu obeko, you just go and vote for Alan. Alan maybe, I think say obey the service to MPP in Ashanti region because most of them are my aggrieved. They will basically vote for Alan. Or no on too many, also on too much. You're not going to Alan. Now a weekend MPP votes in Ashanti region. So me, I think going forward, it looks good for the NDC. MPP is unfortunate. Nana we all thought say he was going to do something good. He was going to do something great. Just like Baumia. Baumia there is just maybe who's about Baumia is not a politician. So you'll be a steady communication, public relation, public speaking. I always say Baumia, it doesn't fit to be a politician. Because when a mannerism, the gestures or the Ekasa Crown say, I think he's being forced or he's being pulled with strings to talk. You understand? Me debate na no here guys say o person Mahama debate or a mistake. No, of course I debate with Mahama. You see what will happen. He will be flawed because Mahama is a good communicator. He speaks well in public. Baumia is not a good communicator. So I didn't say the truth. Baumia is not a good communicator. The public speaking a poor, the gestures with his voice in the he's not a good politician, he's an economics. The MPP should not be making noise. So debate in the you see what will happen. Baumia cannot debate Mahama in any way whatsoever. So they shouldn't, go in for that.
You shouldn't try.
You shouldn't try. You can't. You can't.
Francis Obamino, hey, Miss Obuni, good evening.
Good evening, Fia. No, I'm not doing now.
Adam.
That was near my power. They be am too.
So say, I dear son, you know, so why join here? That's it.
Oh yeah. Not gonna hold on try. Me did it kind me Alan. Me means one person shooting yourself in the foot. Means Alan me who because why I tell the think I was saying can you say or you or caught into contest no or not doing so say you go so because why you be paying. And I said, what the guy you be paying? And you know, so why this person who back for president here? Also, now we focus on you. Now building with grassroots. And now for I call a race in the Ayabu thinking. I think I'll be in general. Even those who are clear mind, corner, you go for the game say, we are 1 year been a year, man. I just say, yeah, now they're talking, say, me who's a 24-hour economy. And this is for no woman say. Omo explaining and also much sassy ye pa about vindicating Akufo-Addo any Baumia Memono because how can you tell me say USA actually 24-hour economy no and yet just slap your finger na ba other say implementations in the amount of see how the big mama a time resource no ebe ye adwuma into can tell me say we say Akufo-Addo Memono economy na in shambles or adwuma there's nothing going on and they will buy best not to finger 24-hour economy about how is that possible and you now what the 24-hour economy no how are you going to make it happen and one thing also better make an say Ghana for you can see a holy vice president accountable I'll see you make it constitution a catch for them because say on vice and far ideas of the baba also running to the boss got on team we nim line more then I'll be trying and as our economic management team as one for party say if we have a finance ministry handle our finances in your that economic management team that's what one is saying Into one drink I said, Baumia Banoka, A, B, C, D, and Chinchilla chair or soldier, and then president, or be anyone more voting for Baumia. Yes, Baumia or a part of the team, but he is not the leader. And your kind, with my okay, this is what I have. Now on June to my on June to can for that crown or power chain Baumia when it comes to the economy. And to mean Blimino or Colocota, you don't want person.
Oh,
yeah. Metiasia, I say, a Kufado, Minamekaya, you see, Ghana, you will go on a class in my council, obey me, the woman now between me. I say, and into the winter, I say, can't you or vice in tea, or vice in tea, or vice in tea. So, Upa say, Baumia, Amamua, and a mandate to know, constitutionally, no, a binding note to do what you're supposed to do. I say, no. And I better make answer. Digitalization now, I was a Ghana, you find it serious. I would say, Pia or more for digitalization serious, no. No more advanced coming. My name is simple. And my name is so simple. First, Ghana and go for D-line passport. Be barely D-line. And so I know for the papa partner, I now co baby. So our time now, we kind of time is money. That's what it means. Time that I could down on passport. You can make my coin never be brave. I'm an American. I say, now so that could be but now no digitalization, with my year, I to just from Makoya from. So I answer about corruption because also the one Ghana CDR for passport and one know what year or digital footprint about who reach to account ABCD. And nothing about a book, no be a dime, no be a papers. Now I say, and one know Ira. No, the better fighting corruption. I will say taking digitalization is very serious. And one thing I'm better make and say, and the first sorry, I almost say about me a liar. Fine, fair enough. Just because and some of prior to the campaign. To see John Mahama so sorry, or say 3 years it was on the buy, knowing damn well say and you're on the buy. Or sorry, any child spend I'm buying Yama, and go full name, kind of full names and you're on the buy and also on the buy. So you see, why why in a liar? I was going to afford trust normal, but to say, I was going to form to no use so margining. Normal beginning. If you are better make
that's why. That's no contribution or the other. Mr. Mosa.
Mami. Oh, yeah, Mr. No, you mapa. Na, nkomoni bi wo ha mesra ye nuanom a ya na ekase no sabe ye nyina ye mpanimfo na mpanimfo so na edi anim wo man so ne atie bia no mu di enso enti ani die mu a mesra se ya na ye line of eni ye ton na ye de kasa ewo won ho no ebra sa bre no ne ye patie ye ne ebeboa ma o man na koso enti moma yen concentrate wo ne obi e ka ho na yen we se me no NDC for the way ba na se ebeboa fine na yen hwe kwaya ombefa so ombeye no ba omi ase we the way na ba yen hwe kwaya yen musa questions ekwa ba na afa so a obeye no ti say 24 hours yi me no NDC for problem ehun say ase omu chesi ba omia. That's my view. And until okwa ha na se otise ase ba omiadu yakotuma de rush se wo mudi biba betum. And until onma omuntie won pebre any communicators no enkohia enkyere wo ade no muye. Se self fees ye an wo mudi abetum yi. Woko peace fm a the ote work no e different.
Different from the Omukano manifesto.
Just say, far different. One tia de na se. Sabi ye nyina so no mafia ye nyina school ni akobi pay. Ye nim school fees, ye nim tuition. Oh, and the one no can ebi no can say o first first term no awoko no and nam say wo rush no ye tua say fees na ma. Obi so
level 100 pen on betua.
And no kura no obi kura say after that no kura no wona betua de aka ni nyina enye the whole year ni etua amount.
Oh.
And you know, I say, 24 hours here. Okuja to the Namhana way the Namhana fed ye a binum didi atem wa yin so the same thing wo Timeno that's a year mess NDC for no omuntu ombo ase na so wo di bibi ba wo mu allowance nyina wo so woni sika na atwa mu free yi kura wo na so wo de ba ye kura no eno so kura na enya free afa de wo si university sika no kofa no he na ade aye enti no sa questions wo nyina no e wo se wo mu ema yete ase
okay
ena compare ba wo miye no se wa anya careful ba wo miya de no ma be for aso wa bra woni what is ne ekoso the same thing or the here alanchre matene kan mu a ala ni ba no because mafia so be check ya ala di car resigning some months and sign about wo miya be declare na meboa
obe declare den
obe declare so obe rani
there be any tablet ba wo miya kura nim ani etetete asemone na na do abreso
so no there media me can in a public ne de obi nkomo a wadi ne kokoa mu de sa ne politics de ye di nkomo bebre ala wadi nkomo kokoa mu nkomo ne de kokoa mu de on bedi bebre but the person me kire ne say the same thing about me running the campaign ala reason ye no say ko ne parliamentarians no say one parliamentarians ni nyina ebehia akasa no na ba wo me adi kasa no ho akokɔ mpanimfo ni nyina ho ansa na ala ko ye sa de no enti na ni ba no so no na o manyina aka achi enti no de mesra ne say sa aye asante ho na wode nani ato so say because o firi ho no enti no enioma be ko iza ama no no me mom de aten say was adwene ho bi but ne me pesa mesra ne say ye ba program at say a mama ye ndo on policies no na ye nyai personal attack no na yenko yanim pacho me dase
okay Mr. Medase Anam Pacho, good evening.
Good evening, Sister Fia.
Anam Pacho.
Men some de be sevi pena me kraso na de as assign wo UK. If you are near the kind MPP by one aye nyoma bebre in the education sector. Me na me try the Ganata Secondary School answer na me too 2017. Okay. That time now yeah bana. Now I was even I give say teaching wasn't a profession because you need license. What is a profession? Must have a license. Need any license. It was a mainstream profession. But now I'm for you. But through MPP, no, say teaching a profession. Teaching a profession. That be a me argument back on me. So MPP, they say even what is our license tonight? Then Abba, I'm a teacher for what license? But uper so US, super Chrome her. Only license are ultimate trade.
To me,
but those days you need any license. Who is that teacher? Oh, me or staff ID. Me what this, me what this. No need license. Teacher be no license. It was a mainstream profession before before the introduction of this license. It's one guy ade. This free SHS here. Eh good. Me do ya nani pa. Na person me show. They say once what ni na de aba form. Enye den kakra beko ubenya kakra ma ubenya kakra ma books in kitten video one better. But the introduction of free SHS we are then a good. Though pass view of her, many 1 year drain. I want you maybe be but the introduction it be a starting fee, baby, and sunny then you do baby. And see, want to make us say, and yet, na scam before NDC bano. What's a scam? What's a 50 40? What's a scam? Faleso for Sukache, what's a scam? Mahama Gasa, what's a scam? New minister no ho, we have minister, or saying you just 2,000 years or 50 years time, but through MPP. Now the one guy in kakran. I feel who person with the credit na ma say one now the buy. And so be them say and you na the buy. Now me person this your MPP o. Me if you kwa me MPP ni but say am all there. MPP and this when now who do want to scare? When now but MPP also kakran in NDC. NDC sorry NDC your alternative. Because want to marry with policy be a better man say one for women. Ne to me and say and one for policy man, then change the argument because I was a me MPP aye kwan na me bagana me fa so bi NDC aye kwan no be bagana me fa it one for policy bi otum say ebe boa ye nya wo hwe digitalization a wo introduce one of the best policies about omiade aba bi kran see that bi nsi wo magana mu da they say uba address system adwuma we adwuma enti NDC na nka so one for alternative policies bi mbrɛ hu say mo ba se na wo be to asan ye nyina adwene ne abedi won achi ne ato wo ye kakra na enya ne ye yi won NC be for permanent NDC no di nachi oya de ne nya na oduo MPP sa oya but when na corrupt and me MPP when na corrupt MPP NDC when na corrupt and it don't mean would want to scale one when na 10 when na akronfo na egu when na akronfo but MPP I was so saying NDC medawase
yo mama na nana is that any final thoughts I would be jay
Yeah.
you went your money now yeah
Yo fear my idea it's not so 3 hours
why are
my idea muso muti no my idea tiawa dubia beka bia ese adwini ba kofo team na opinion ese te se no si so bia wo ne de but yema yenua no mo fie dodo na mo be free ha so akọ se you influence wa ha they want to be asem ye nkyerɛkyerɛ wo mu abana ye kwoto no Trump bi a we issue was say Reagan say she wa bum neto aba your situation now so situation a wo mo Ghana sisi ano eboa wo na ekoyi ma wo na wa adwen mu no MPP na mana basa obia have the right to choose wherever they want to na sa wo ye maame a wuti body adwusu ewu Kumase na wo ton body ahwe wo ba amana ko school pon which is university what it more room yesom ahomachi wa free feel these people who ye fitani wa hwe wo ba ka ba na wo hye ka ase na oil ahwe agu ho o tika mu mema trotro adwuma ye affect enkofo sisi ama ne Ghana Airwaves no edru aye ton anse sisi mbeye den na se bi omatimi agye omani wompem the number one sellable item o Ghana no uye sa nyema we nyina awie na sebio aduane papa eyesa wo de topu so didi na wonya bi dia there's a problem there is a problem and it's not about digital digital no you are once again you are speaking from 10 but one problem no solve ye na obia wo bobra se wo jump free one call the order of things 1 2 3 4 na wo jump free 1 now we call 5 me see 2 3 and 4 will come back at a point in time everybody be doing your life there are certain things you can't avoid enti abana ye koto no and when you for me say obia de na adwen ni nyansa de onima begu puno so wo e na almost say mo almost atumi no enti ensem na omode aka hwe omusuban wo mo ne ye wo mo kasemu eniema o maye o mabra bomu na enu na begina so ama ensem na omo ka no e ya de se nipa ne betimi aya enu na yese wo hwe na wo hwe yi ni nyina ehia obi ka se policy hia enu ni product a nipa ko original so de abeto wo wa adwen se to abama no enti hwe se e ya de ebeye moa ama oba na watena awia kataban so adidwa edi na wie school pon no be me na dwuma ye na wagya ise da bia wo sa no aboso to wa no wayi mu no enya ne bia ne so opeso yi usiko na ya ho kire me si ade ba ko afia me ka me refie ba o mia policy ba ko kan ya me ha me pa bi se me yo ba time se wo si oba betting no obeyi tax bia wo betting na free so in fact it is a high insult to me as a parent actually say wa mami provisions bia me de be ma me ba so obenya adwuma ye free SHS no eye owie ade wo wie free SHS no wanya ma na kwanya bia say e bia sa ndwuma wantimi antra anko university area ha na moko ubekrom ha ya community college esa ndwuma no akoye no de abone ho bra wa ma no uwie ye no wo si de wakobo ne maame aboso ma ho kire nti wo ye tax e obetie free so Not just so, what the auto tax na the okay so mko so we scam no nya bet no. And that is what me understand the net here. So me
encourage betting no.
Encourage betting say me wo kasa a kire me a awofo no na che say uni tirimupa adwen bi ama the youth no. Ma ya ma famu di o ma bre agina awie yi so. Ya ma me ma wie wo mtimi hye long sleeves. Na ye enne wo hu ye mema na. Omo kasa omo pese omo ye awie emma me se makameka biem. Common pad misre na meka. Emma nyankopon hihye me hu moja anim afibia ebosumi bia no. Obi se obeto pad no oni sika no se bio oja ne ho no ne be ma ada. Because adwuma ni ho. Yo. Oh, sa na emu no na ehiam ti se wotimi provide adwuma ema nipa ye na wo hye ekurafo emmo incentives bi no mu ye kura no mutimi tom ne ma wo so ne eso ne aduane pedi a then o taxes na wo pese wo expand no then o digital na pese aye adwuma but se wa anye basics na de wo ka nyina eye wushi washa ema yen emfa hwe maintenance owura chamate se 3 sectors ehia no wo se kuayo economy na ye ka no se yetimi dua ye niema kra na se nya eniema bi ka ho ne export te say abani ye a edi sika unse the more you expect no is stabilize sika na edi beba no dollar no it will stabilize the cedi na unfa sika bebre enkoje dollar na ye maame mo mutimi kokwan so ekra na ema ba no obeton wade a onfa so bebre ento so ema wu ntimi nkotobi ewe eye one ye free one ni ekotu ni ekotre na MPP ni ADC na eye 10 no mo abiti sementi ase
maybe you time bebre mo one hwam
that's the time I would demand
that's etiane sister Breche ewe kan ye ho on behalf of movement for change Afro movement. Eti wo so abejo ni e bia Mr. Janice Asare so ye MPP for chairman or DC ono so bejo ni na wo a wo bejo ni e bia thank you so much and then NDC for I launch your manifesto a youth manifesto so ye be breaking your money nyina down NDC so mo all level 100 for omo free your friends intuition into call level 100 baby esika ne beba no e be free menu mienu nyina botum cause ya na e be tia tax am on mine and on mine so benye bi yes president bi any wo ba ono ade ni botum sika beba be bibia anti no we will continue to at least analyze the issues no so if I me bim lady but let me leave you with these things and then manifesto launch no cost on NDC for them this one president Mahama
for me John Dramani Mahama, I've always recognized the incredible potential and power of our young people. I'll continue to recognize and appreciate the importance of empowering them to help shape a better tomorrow for our country. My young Ghanaians, dare to dream and dare to achieve. Our dreams can transform not only our future, but also the future of our communities, our country, and the world at large. You are the catalyst for positive change, and through you, your inspiring actions and determination, we can bring about the transformation change that our world and our country desperately needs.
Producer, now when you know, production, now I Anton Anquamanone, why export to her, won't be $1 embound system, because I have $1. Chokoton no ma manonia na dollar no aiden aba na da ben na what is head of state for Ghana aka export wansem da ben na what is obi ye kan what export wansem da betimi a produce normal ama de nanka first ye give dollar cotton no se so betimi na ansia untimi ma usidi ni njirada
drivers for ha yenyina ye drivers and then your driver's licenses no every 2 years we are not expire and yes sir this is oko DVL biom eco renew aden they say yes extended 8 years 10 years let's make sure you can have the driver's license without having to go to renew it every year. It doesn't make sense. enti nyame adom ye di saa nhihye no eba
Thank you so much for joining us. Good night. Yakopon ya aduma yebeshia. Utie live or across your platforms. Nyamigacho FM, High Life Radio, Kings Jersey Radio, any Adapopa Media. Bigacho FM so Ghana. Edobias Royal Lydia. Nse one man tem any Kwame Jude near the but that is good for public discourse. We are critiquing and penny for no. So to me Jubilee. Just like that. You must earn your right to go and live in Jubilee. Yeah, the money is no. So what you saying? Omo ye idea somebody but good. Yes, we are yes, say. The choose the good night. Good night.